listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very excited to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Monday. We have a lot to get into in today's show. Every show is going to have a little bit of its own theme this week. As you just heard, we start college days starting tomorrow, so we're going to take a trip to Columbia, Manhattan, and Lawrence to take a look at the three individual schools. As of now, every school's football coach will be on the show this week. Every school's athletic director will be on the show this week. We'll talk to the quarterbacks, talk to the star players. We are really going to help get you ready for the start of college football season. We are going to have Columbia Day, Lawrence Day, and Manhattan Day, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Today, as we kick off the All-Star break, you know what? I wanted today to be a little bit different. So Rob and I have reached out to various news people and friends along the way, and we're going to have them on the show. You know what we've never been able to ask Brian Busby? How did you become a weatherman? I'd love to know the answer to that. Rob, do you know how Brian Busby became a weatherman? Well, we're going to get the chance to ask him today. Chris Ketz is going to be on the show. What is the biggest news story that you've covered in your time in Kansas City? That is one of the activities that we are going to do today. There is a lot of other things to talk about. The SEC and the Big Ten don't agree on the playoff. We have the home run derby coming up later today. Teddy Bridgewater is in trouble for helping kids go to school. There's a lot happening in the world of sports. Before we get to it, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. I also need you to tell 2 friends to check out the show. Today, I'm being greedy. It's the All-Star break, so we could use all the help that we could get. If you could tell 2 friends to check out the show, you know what? I would greatly appreciate it. This is where I would like to begin. There are 2 major stories this week. One's kind of an early in the week story. The other one is a later in the week story. We'll get to the Royals coming up here in just a bit. But the Chiefs have until 3 o'clock tomorrow to reach a long-term extension with Trey Smith. He is currently the only player in the NFL that is under the franchise tag. What's that means? If the Chiefs and Trey Smith don't reach a long-term agreement by tomorrow at 3 o'clock, he is going to be under a 1-year, $23.4 million guaranteed. He has already signed his tenure. So that means he is going to show up to training camp. He is locked into that $23 million, or you can reach an extension, bring your cap number down, lock yourself into some more guaranteed money, and give yourself more long-term security with the Kansas City Chiefs. We haven't really heard a lot of news. There hasn't been a lot of smoke, hasn't been a lot of fire around the contract, but you would have to imagine that there are some negotiations that are going on behind the scenes, and I expect that sometime coming up in the next 24 hours, we are going to hear news that the Chiefs and Trey Smith are going to reach a long-term extension. Trey Smith met with the media last week. He didn't really give up a whole lot of information about this subject.
I leave it to the hands of my agents, and obviously the front office staff of the Chiefs are elite, and at the end of the day, I just let them take care of it. I just have to focus on being the best version of myself, being the best football player, and being prepared for training camp, because St. Joe's is around the corner. That's going to be we don't want to talk about that right now.
We also had Joe Corey on, who is a former sports agent. We had him on the show last week. We asked him what a Trey Smith contract looks like. He threw out some big-time numbers.
He's not going to give you more than 4 total years. And I look at not 4 new years besides the tag number he's playing on. That's a placeholder. So I'm really thinking 4 years, 25, 26, 27, 28. He's not going to give you more than that. Since you're probably going to have to go maybe 50 fully guaranteed at signing, since Lindstrom's at 48, and probably 65 in overall guarantees. If you could get this thing for anything under 90 for the 4 years, I think you should be happy with that. I suspect it might be closer to 92 to 95. If that might give the Chiefs sticker shock, but I don't think it's going to be the 2.5% increases we've had with Lindstrom when he became the highest paid guy, or Dickerson when he became the highest paid guy, because that only puts you $21.5 million. So that franchise tag just totally changed the dynamics of the negotiation.
So that was Joel Corey. He was on the show last week. I would highly encourage you to check out that interview if you want to learn more about this process with Trey Smith. from a financial standpoint, it would be in the best interest of both sides to get a deal done. If you're Trey Smith, you lock in more guaranteed long-term money. We're talking about potentially what you just heard from Joe Corey, $50 million guaranteed. That's double what you currently are locked in to get guaranteed. You also can sign that now and not have to worry about injury or any of those things. Lock yourself in for $50 million. If you're the Chiefs, you give yourself some salary cap flexibility. We also talked about Joel Corey, and he believes that if you reached an extension with Trey Smith, you could save $13 million against the cap for this upcoming season. That's obviously incredibly valuable, something you would like to do if you're the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs have made it clear that they want Trey Smith around. I think Trey Smith also wants to be in Kansas City. When those two things come together, you usually get yourself a deal. So we are at the All-Star break for the Kansas City Royals. Let's get you some of the numbers for the Royals. The Royals are 29th in runs scored. They have scored 2 more runs this season than the Pittsburgh Pirates. When it comes to home runs, the Royals are 29th place. They have hit more home runs than the Pittsburgh Pirates. So by a lot of the metrics, a lot of the offensive statistics, the Royals are near the bottom of Major League Baseball. I don't have to tell you guys how up and down and how inconsistent the Royals have been through the first basically 100 games of the season. The Royals have played 97 games. So by this time next week, when the Royals get back to work, they will have played exactly 100 games. We have gone through this subject ad nauseum. The Royals are at a crossroads about what they want to do. They are essentially eliminated from the division, so there's no reason to talk about them as they are 12 games out, and Detroit has the most wins of any team in all of baseball. The Royals currently sit 4.5 games out of the third wild card spot. The Mariners have the final wild card spot, followed by Tampa Bay, Texas, Minnesota, and the Angels. So the Royals are sitting there. So you got to do a lot of work in the second half of the season. But the Royals have the second easiest schedule of any team in Major League Baseball the second half of the season. Does that make the Royals feel like they are in it, that they should go for it, that they can get hot and go on a little bit of a run? Or are you going to see the Royals sell off some parts as we get closer and closer to the deadline? That is going to be the story that dominates Kansas City baseball for the next couple of weeks or so. Coming up in a bit, Harold Kuntz of Fox 4 is going to join us on the show. But you know what? We're going to do a different version of a random lineup today. Rob, tell them what it is.
We're where you want to be.
Carrying today's Random Royals lineup takes us back to 2012. This is the All-Star Game lineup that took part in Kansas City. Are they your AL All-Stars?
I was there.
The AL All-Stars got smoked this day.
It wasn't good.
It was 8-0. Here was the starting lineup for the AL.
I'm pretty sure this was Bryce Harper's first All-Star game and Mike Trout's first All-Star game. Maybe I'm off on that, but I do remember it being a big deal. I also remember that Bryce Harper was wearing gold spikes that day.
I also remember this was Chipper Jones' last All-Star game.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Here was the AL lineup that day. Leading off at shortstop from the Yankees, Derek Jeter.
Of course, Jeter.
Batting second, the second baseman from the Yankees, Robinson Cano.
Boo!
Batting third, the left fielder from the Texas Rangers, Josh Hamilton.
Josh Hamilton.
Batting fourth, from the Blue Jays, the right fielder, Jose Bautista.
People hate him, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he got punched in the face and people cheered.
No, that's life.
I mean, outside of boxing, can you think of a time when a dude gets walloped and everyone's like, yep, he deserved it?
Who do you think is more hated from Toronto, Drake or Jose Bautista?
I think right now, Drake.
It's tough for both parties. It's been tough.
Batting fifth, the first baseman, the Detroit Tiger, Prince Fielder.
Prince Fielder.
Batting sixth, at third base, a Texas Ranger, Adrian Beltre.
Hey, man, we didn't have nobody start this year. Goodness gracious, we couldn't get one starter.
Batting seventh, the designated hitter from the Red Sox, David Ortiz.
What were we doing back in 2012? We couldn't get one Royal voted in for the game.
Batting eighth, the catcher from the Texas Rangers, Mike Napoli.
What?
And batting ninth, In center field, representing the New York Yankees, Curtis Granderson.
I remember Curtis Granderson, former Tiger, if I'm not mistaken.
But
Was that the only two teams that he played for, the Tigers and the
He
Yankees?
was also a Met.
Oh, he did play for the Mets for a little bit. Yeah, he did play for the Mets.
Speaking of the Tigers, Justin Verlander got the start this day for the AL in the All-Star game.
First ballot Hall of Famer, Justin Verlander.
He was not good. He went 1 inning and gave up 5 runs.
Got beat around.
The Royals did get an at-bat in this game from Billy Butler, so that's fun.
Okay. Did Butler get a hit in his AB?
I am trying to find the...
No, he couldn't get any hits in the home run derby because he was lied to. He was misled.
He went 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
Oh, my goodness, Billy. Come on now. Billy. When do you think we get the next All-Star game? Sometime after the new stadium is. So probably like 2035, you think?
It's not this stadium, so...
Yeah, so probably 10 years away from another All-Star game coming back to the city?
Probably. When did Atlanta last have theirs before? Theirs is weird. This was supposed to be 2020's All-Star game, so like in reality, like... When did Atlanta have one before 2020? It was in the 90s, right?
Yeah, I don't remember, but I mean, I'm assuming it was when Turner Field was built. I
Yeah.
mean, they had that, and then there was the political, and Atlanta was supposed to get this All-Star game like 5 years ago, and now they're finally just getting the All-Star game. More and more, I hear people speak very highly of Battery Park in Atlanta. I got to ask Ladd next time we talk about it how much he likes the stadium. He spends a lot of time out there now, but no, shout out to the Atlanta Braves. They got the home run derby tonight. They got the All-Star game this weekend, and that was the 2012 American League All-Stars. You guys might remember they hosted that game right here in Kansas City. Coming up on the other side, we'll be joined by Harold Kuntz. He is with Fox 4. We're going to be joined by some of our favorite news people today. Talk a little bit of sports, talk a little bit about their career, a little bit about covering the city. Speaking of that, one of my friends was in from out of town, and I learned something very valuable about Kansas City this weekend. I'll tell you what it is. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, host of the Random Royals lineup on 96.5 The Fan.
Baseball with the Royals.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll get your stake back if they finish second. Log in today and make your picks with confidence with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
If you love finding the deal and a bargain brings you bliss, the Hy-Vee 5-day sidewalk sale is cause for celebration. This Wednesday through Sunday, stock up and save big on dozens of pantry staples, like Roma pizzas, 4 for $10, Pepsi 24 packs, $11.99, Frito-Lay's chips, just $1.99, Gatorade 8-pack bottles, just $5.99, and Sunbelt granola bars, 4 for $10. Hurry to the huge 5-day sidewalk sale this week, only at Hy-Vee.
Even though it's summertime, everybody's still busy, and that's where Hy-Vee Market Grill comes in. They've got the best dining value in town. Every day, they've got a meal deal from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And for $8 per person or less, you can treat the whole family to dinner, like smoked chicken Monday, pork chop Tuesday, cheeseburger and fries on Wednesday, and chicken enchiladas on Friday. And don't forget Steak Thursday with a perfectly seasoned steak, garlic mashed potatoes, and sweet corn for $12. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's only at Hy-Vee Market Grill.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Jeff, looks like your business is really booming, even in a tough time for businesses like ours.
Hey, Mike,
Yeah, thanks to LendSeek, our business was able to take care of some outstanding bills and taxes and to purchase inventory and expand our product lines.
Wow. You know, my business needs working capital, but only from a reputable company that I can trust and count on. How does LendSeek work?
Fast and easy. Just apply at lendseek.com. Their AI lending platform gave my business access to over 100 funding programs with one simple application. And it costs nothing to apply.
At lendseek.com, you can receive business funding with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. Whatever your funding needs are, seek no more. Our AI lending marketplace has you covered. If you've been in business at least 1 year with annual revenue of at least $250,000, you could get the funding your business needs in as little as 24 hours. There's no obligation, so apply today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
We know there's a lot that can go on during one night of baseball. Long home runs, epic pitching performances, catches that defy space, time, and gravity.
Climbing the wall! Did he catch it? He did!
But what if you could get all of that summarized in a quick, concise, and at least we think, funny podcast that's under 10 minutes? Check out MLB.com's Morning Lineup. It runs Monday through Friday mornings on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you love listening most.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
All right. I want to tell you guys a couple of very quick stories before we're joined by Harold Kuntz of Fox 4. So some of you know, but I work for Infinity Sports Radio. I also work for Sirius XM Radio. I do some fill-in stuff with Sirius. I got a daily slot every week on the Infinity Sports Network. So my producer, my version of Rob for Infinity Sports, every year he goes to a different Major League Baseball stadium. Big Mets fan, tries to see the Mets play at a different stadium every year. Well, this year he chose Kansas City. The Mets were coming. We could meet for the first time in person. Funny enough, we talked on the phone for probably the last 4 years or so. We've never been in the same place before. So he came down here and we hung out. We went to the Mets game on Saturday. We did some other things. Rob, I will say it was very interesting to see Kansas City through the eyes of a tourist. I've lived here my whole life. So when he's asking me, well, what should I do? And I'm like, hey, I'll take you around. I'll show you some different things. I'm trying to think of it as, hey, if I'm only in Kansas City for 2 days, what are some things that I would be into doing? What are some things that I would like to do if I was trying to get just a 48-hour quick snapshot of the city? So he got into town on Thursday. We were still, I don't know, he was doing stuff, I was doing stuff. We didn't get a chance to meet up on Thursday. I then hung out with him after we got off of the show on Friday and basically all day on Saturday. So we did a lot of different things. One interesting thing that he told me, he said everywhere that he went, he has a clear New York accent. You can tell he ain't from around these parts. He told me, Rob, that every person that suggested a barbecue restaurant told him one to go to. Do you know what it was? It was Q39. This is my question. 913-586-7965. Is that what we're telling the out-of-towners? You're telling me when somebody comes in from out of town and you know that they're not from here, you meet somebody in line somewhere and they say, oh, hey, I'm from Seattle. I'm from Phoenix. And they ask you, where should you go get barbecue? Q39's now become the number one answer on the board. He told me on Saturday, we're driving around, he said 4 separate people. He said when he rented his car, he went to go take a tour at Arrowhead on Saturday morning. He said every person that he had told, hey, I'm from out of town, suggested Q39 as the place to go get barbecue. I didn't know that was the it place. I mean, I didn't take him to Q39 to go get barbecue. But Rob, is that what you were telling people? Whenever somebody is coming in from out of town and you suggested them a barbecue restaurant, Q39 has become the number one answer on the board?
It is not my number one answer, and I have a unique experience because around this time last year, I obviously had my wedding, so I had a lot of out-of-town guests in, and they were like, what's the best barbecue spot to go to? I told them the most unique, fun experience, a great barbecue, the spot to go is you got to go to the gas station, you got to go to Joe's, but I'm stunned because I wouldn't have Q39 on my Mount Rushmore. I am stunned that word of mouth about Q39 is so big that they are the ones everyone is being told to go to. Like that, it's not, Q39 is good. It's a very good barbecue place, but I don't think it's quintessential Kansas City, but maybe I'm just too, like, can't see the forest or the trees type of deal.
So we tried to do the Joe's. So this is what I told him. And you can tell me if I'm right or wrong here. I'm a lifelong Kansas City, but maybe we do it a little bit different. I told him that we have a big 4. You guys know who I think the big 4 are. I think it's Joe's, Gates, Jack Stack, and Arthur Bryant's. I think those are the big 4. Now, I do agree. I think that Q39 is the most popular barbecue restaurant in town that is outside of that big 4. But I do think that's the big 4. And I told him, hey, you're here for 3 nights. You should try to go to at least 2 of the big 4. If you get a chance to go somewhere else, cool, but you got to go to 2 of at least the 4. So the first night we went to Gates, got a mixed plate, shared a mixed plate. The next night we went to the Jack Stack over on the plaza. We did try to go to the Joe's, the original location. That line was crazy. And I was sitting there saying, hey, I'll wait in this line if you really want to, but I'm telling you right now, there's other places for amazing barbecue that we can just skip all this line and we can go sit down. Like, we will be able to leave the location over in, what's that, West 47th Street, wherever the Joe's is. By the time we drive from here to the plaza location, we can go sit down at the bar and be eating by the time that you be halfway done with this line. That's how crazy the line was. I don't know if this was the summer, the Mets were in town. I don't know what it was, but you guys know when you see that Joe's line wrapped around the building, I ain't going there today. I'll wait. I'll go back. I've had Joe's enough. I've had enough Z-Mans in my life. I'll have another one, I'm sure of it. So I felt bad that he didn't get a chance to go into the gas station location, but he did get a chance to see it. We also rocked around Union Station for a while. I was telling him, hey, this is where the draft was. This is where the parade was. I'm sure you've seen it on television. I took him out where, you know that the big statue, the Scout. He's like, I want to see the sights. And I'm like, oh, well, you can't really get much better of a view of downtown Kansas City than here. It was a nice night outside. I'm like, hey, let's just go over here. It's real close. You can just see it. I also took him to Up Down. Feels like you're a 35-year-old man. You're looking for something to do. I don't know if you can go wrong with going to Up Down. Get yourself a beer. We played some games, played some skee ball, had a good time. I was just trying to see Kansas City through the eyes of a tourist. Another touristy thing we did, Rob, you'd be proud of me. We took him to Boulevard, the little brewing hall, the little beer hall. And I was like, I think these are the 4 most popular beers from Boulevard. These are not my 4 favorite, but this is what I think most Kansas Cityans would say are the 4 most popular beers, and they made them a little flight. So it was Space Camper, the Pale Ale, the Tank 7, and the Boulevard Wheat. Now, I'm sure you're going to tell me that's wrong, and there's other beers that you should have on the flight, but I said if you're just doing 4 beers, because they'll give you a flight, $11 for the 4 beer little flight that they have, I felt like those are the 4 most popular beers that Boulevard has to offer.
I actually have no problem with your Boulevard beers. Let's circle back a minute. I would have not had the Scout on my checklist to take a tourist to. It's a good answer. I'm not, knocking it. But it would have been pretty low on my list to walk someone up to that hill to get a view of Kansas City and see the KC Scout. Like, I think that's a little bit, hardcore Kansas City to show someone. Text line, maybe I'm wrong. I would not have had KC Scout on my show or tourist Kansas City checklist. It wouldn't have made mine. Boulevard, yes. up, down. There's plenty of bars in Kansas City you can do. Cool, whatever. I would be down with that. Barbecue, check, and check. The Scout is a little bit of a niche pick by you.
Yeah, so we did the Liberty Memorial. You go up there and you can see. It's like,
You're right there, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, around the corner, there's a different view. And the point I made was, you'll see this view a million times if you watch Sunday Night Football. Like, there's certain views that they always show when they do B-roll of Kansas City. Like, they're going to give you the shot of the Western Auto sign. They're going to give you that overhead of the streetcar. You're going to see the Kauffman Center. You're also going to get that view of the time elapse from the Scout close to Penn Valley. So I just thought that was it's quick, it's easy. It's a 10-minute activity. It doesn't really take a whole lot of time. So these were just some of the things. But as I said from the very beginning of this, it was just very, very interesting to see Kansas City through the eyes of someone who is a tourist. That's what it is. It's very interesting to see it through the eyes of someone that doesn't live here. Because, again, you're only here for 2 days. What are we going to do in this short period of time? I want you to have a good time. I want you to see Kansas City. You're from the big city. Like, you live in Manhattan. I don't want you to come here and think that Kansas City is whack, because it's not. There's a lot of fun things to do. And I do think he left with an appreciation like, oh, yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm happy that I think he had a good time for his 2 days in Kansas City.
I feel like you hit all the marquee spots. Can I ask, I've just complained you got a little too niche, but I'm going to say this. Was there an exhibit at Union Station happening right now? Like, sometimes I remember last year for my wedding, I told people, go to Union Station.
No, there wasn't one. Not that I would think of. I think they have that one. It's like the Guinness Book of World Records, but we didn't do that.
I'm going to say,
I felt like he already took one of those tours, so he did the Arrowhead Stadium tour. I didn't need to do that. I've seen Arrowhead more than enough. I don't need to go on the tour of Arrowhead. But he did that tour, and then we met up on Saturday, and then we went to the Royals and Mets game.
That makes sense. Because when I had people in town for my wedding last year, it was the dinosaurs exhibit, and it was very popular among guests to go look at the dinosaurs exhibit at Union Station. I was curious if there was something going on in there or just regular Union Station business.
He did say that he liked the pale ale, I remember, of all the Kansas City beers that he tried. So out of the Boulevard beers, the pale ale was his favorite. Rob, which one's your favorite out of the Boulevard assortments?
I mean, Tank 7's the answer, but number 2 is probably Space Camper. Pale Ale falls in 3, 4 right in there of the Mount Rushmore, but Tank 7's my favorite of the Mount Rushmore beers.
Okay. I just was very, very curious to know. 913-586-7965 if you guys were missing it. I had a friend come in from out of town, and I was showing them around this week, and it was very interesting to see the eyes of Kansas City through someone who is not from here. Like, you're just trying to show them a good time. You're trying to show them all of the things. You're trying to get a lot of things done in a very short period of time. He was only here for 2 nights that we hung out. So I hope I did my best. I hope, as a proud Kansas City resident, I hope that you guys feel like I've done a good job with the tours. I think I'm a good tour guide. Like, if you're somebody from out of town and you're looking for things to do, you tell me what you're into, and I can lead you in the right path. Tell me the kind of food that you like. Give me the kind of activities that you want. I'll get you squared away. You want an educational tour? You want to do that? You want to go on a couple museum tours? We can do that. What do you want to do? You want to eat? You want to drink? You tell me what you're into. I can give you a nice Kansas City 48-hour trip, even if you're from here and you just want to go to new places. I think that's something that I'm very qualified to do, Rob. That's what this show is about. People helping people. Powerful stuff. Let's go to the phone lines. Harold Kuntz is with Fox 4. Today, we are going to be joined by some of our news friends to figure out how they got their job and also talk to them about random events of things that are happening in sports. Harold, I'm very happy that you have elevated to someone to talk to during the All-Star break. Thank you, man.
That's like a backhanded compliment. It's like, we got nothing on today. Here's Harold. All right. Harold will provide.
Harold, to be fair, though, we got other people coming on, too. Today I wanted to talk to either friends or I want to talk to news people. Like Brian Busby, for example. I've never heard the story of how Brian Busby became a weatherman and got on the news. So I determined today I'm going to ask that question and find out for myself.
That's a good question, actually. I don't even know that one. I mean, I've met the guy countless times. I've never asked him, how'd you get into weather? I never asked him. I'm looking forward to that.
Harold, we are very happy to have you on the show today. Let's just start with this. How did you get in sports?
How did you get in sports? Oh, no. Well, actually, I mean, I'm from the generation that watched local news as a kid. I know that sounds crazy, but I am from that generation, and I always admired the sportscasters. So it was something I wanted to do, even though I figured out, like any other kid, I want to play sports. I want to be a professional athlete. I quickly realized that wasn't going to happen. So other avenues to get into sports, obviously broadcasting being one of them. I dipped my head into it when I was a kid, doing radio, like yourself, actually, on just whenever I had a little time, just dipping into the high school kid, did some play-by-play for my high school teams and my college team at Loyola University of New Orleans. And then next thing I know, I was in graduate school at Syracuse University and, God willing, got into it and got a job in Hagerstown. And, it took me a year. I did some odds and ends. I did some substitute teaching. I did some refereeing. I did some tutoring. I did SAT prep for kids. But finally, I got a job in Hagerstown. And this is now my 16th year of doing this, and it's been a ride. It's a lot of changes, but it's been a good thing. I've enjoyed myself.
Harold, if you had to, let's say you were writing a book tomorrow about your life and your career, and you had to write down, this is the greatest game that I've ever been to, what's the answer to that question?
Greatest game I've ever been to. Man, I want to say the Super Bowl a couple years ago, the one in Arizona. That was obviously a really good one with the Chiefs to feed the Eagles. And there was a playoff baseball game with the Orioles back at my first job. That was a good one. That was a really good one. And that was 2008 or 9. Yeah, that was good. Back when the Orioles made it, and then they became bad again, and now they're decent again, and now they're bad again. So there's been a good. And then also in the NBA, I think what's really cool is when I was in Oklahoma, the Thunder had Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. So obviously game one of the NBA Finals, the one that they did win. And then, obviously Miami with LeBron went on to win 4 straight. That was great. That was a great memory. A couple of series with the Spurs was good. So, but I would have to say if I had to choose one, it was definitely that Super Bowl a couple of years back, the Chiefs-Eagles one. That was a great football game.
Right now, we're talking to Harold Kuntz. We're learning more about him. We'll also just get his thoughts on what is happening currently in Kansas City sports. Last question here, Harold, about you, and I don't think you've ever told me this answer before. If I could interview a 12-year-old, 13-year-old Harold Kuntz, I want to know who his favorite player was. Who was a young Harold Kuntz's favorite player?
Well, that's easy. It's Randall Cunningham. That's the reason I even enjoyed football in the first place. Now, that's a little before 12, 13 years old, but it's stuck. So Randall Cunningham has always been the quarterback I admired most. And I think today, he would have been even better today, the way he played, than he was back then. Because back then it was still a relatively new thing for this guy from UNLV that was with the Eagles running around. But, he was the standard for me. And I looked up to him, and Warren Moon is another one I looked up to because, I'm black, and I love seeing black quarterbacks. And that's who I loved watching those guys as a kid.
We got to ask Randall Cunningham one day why he didn't give his likeness to Tecmo Super Bowl and why he was just QB Eagles. Yeah. I want to hear the answer to that.
Yeah, I was hoping one day to catch up with him when actually a couple years back when the Chiefs Eagles played that first Super Bowl. I saw Rodney Peete. I saw Donovan McNabb, but I knew Randall Cunningham was around. He was going to be at the signing, but he called out, just like Randall Cunningham would do, he called out of the signing that he was supposed to do. So I never got to ask him that question, but maybe one day.
All right, a couple more questions here. Now I'm just intrigued. I'm learning things about Harold Kuntz. All right, I will tell you a story, and I'm sure you have this because if you work in sports long enough, you just get these stories. You just have like a random run-in with a celebrity or a sports legend that you just never would factor yourself being into. I remember it was actually at the All-Star game back in 2012, and Joe Torre was in town, and it was me, Joe Torre, and a Royals employee. We were in the elevator, and I said a joke, and Joe Torre laughed and said I was funny, and I just wore that like a badge of honor. I made the Yankees manager laugh, and he told me that I was funny. Again, you just have these random things that happen to you in sports. Do you have a random story like that?
Oh, man, here a few. If we're talking Hollywood actors, Paul Rudd. I know a lot of people run into Paul Rudd, but just running into him at a Chiefs game. But for some reason, he decided to talk to me for like a good solid 20 to 25 minutes. That was pretty cool. It was like the life and times of Paul Rudd. And then I know a lot of people run into George Brett, but I ran into him at a Sporting KC game. And I just asked him, I was like, soccer, huh? And that's the first time I'd ever met him. It was a Sporting KC game. And I was like, soccer, huh? And he just looked at me, he's like, yeah, I know the owner. I get free drinks. I was like, okay, that tracks from everything I've heard about you. And then I tried to introduce myself, and that was a futile attempt. But still, it was like, wow, soccer. Sure. And he's like, you mind if I take a picture of you real quick? He's like, yeah, sure, I don't care. So, but that's here. Now, outside of things, I mean, I've had a bunch of random encounters with Kendrick Perkins. I had to remind him 3 times I ran into him. I've had to remind him 3 times. Yeah, I used to cover you in Oklahoma City, and then he looks at the face and has the same reaction. Oh yeah. And he always says, short guy. And I think to myself, wait up, we're all short compared to you. You're like 6'10".
Right now, we're talking to my guy, Harold Kuntz. We're getting some of his stories. Last one here, and I do want to ask you about the Chiefs. It doesn't happen often in this business, but sometimes you get to meet people and you're thinking, oh, this is really cool. I wouldn't say it's necessarily starstruck where you don't talk to them, but it's just, oh, this is really cool. The 2 people that have done that to me, one is a sports person, one is not. I got a chance to meet Cam Newton, and I loved Cam Newton when he was at Auburn. And Rob always makes fun of me for how I just think Cam Newton carried this team to the national championship, but he did. He carried this ragtag group of Auburn Tigers to the championship. So I'll always love Cam Newton. And one year down at the Super Bowl, I saw supermodel Christy Teigen, and I was looking at her, and I was like, man, I get it. I understood it right there in that moment. I understood why she was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. All right, who are your starstruck? Who are your, oh, I can't believe I got to meet them?
So I'm going to use a sportscaster, Stuart Scott. When I first met him, I couldn't get words out of my mouth. I was just like, that's the guy. That is the guy. Now, eventually, I got to it. I always look back at that brief time I had with him. I felt ashamed because a lot of people always said very nice things about him. He's very forthcoming, but I just couldn't get over the fact that was the guy. I was like, that's him. So Stuart Scott, obviously, rest in peace, one of the legends of our business. So that's the sportscaster one. Athlete-wise, I don't know. I've never really been like – I just haven't been that guy that said, oh, wow, I can't say anything. I'm like frozen. So, again, I'll go back to, when I was in the D.C. DMV area, I had Bryce Harper and Manny Machado when they were young, Oklahoma. We had all those players, the Sooners, like Baker Mayfield and all those guys, and then Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, all those players. And then obviously here they've got very notable athletes too, and very notable athletes who date people that are very notable. But at no point I've ever been like, oh, wow, because I guess once I'm in a work mode, I'm kind of like, I know who it is, but I got to get to work.
All right, these are 2 of the most important questions in the city right now. Where do you think the Chiefs play in 2035? Are they in Kansas or are they in a renovated Arrowhead Stadium?
Man, I am I'm more certain about the Royals now than I am the Chiefs. But I do believe that it really comes down to if the people surrounding Clark Hunt can convince him that Kansas is the right place. Because I think all the signs look to that being the right decision. I just don't know if Clark Hunt wants it to be the right decision. So it's really more along the lines of what do they want to do and how much they can convince him. And I think we've been saying this for a couple of years now. I think this really is this is convincing the Hunt family, like, hey, this is the right decision. You've got to look at all the other teams, especially the old AFL teams. The Houston Oilers / Tennessee Titans, they're moving in a new facility. Buffalo's already got their new facility done. You look at some teams like Cleveland, they are about to move into a new facility. Cincinnati has made a decision to renovate. The Chiefs are behind the 8 ball here when it comes to other organizations in the league. To make their own decision. And you see, and we're not talking about like the Dallas Cowboys or New York Giants. We're talking about Cincinnati Bengals. We're talking about the Titans organization. We're talking about organizations that you wouldn't think of as the highest tier of NFL franchises that are making decisions. So it really comes down to who's convincing now, who can get into Clark Hunt's ear, who can get into Hunt family's ear and say, hey, I think the Kansas proposition is the right call that'll make us the most return on investment, if you will. But I do know that he loves Arrowhead. And, the heart is going to grow fonder of that. And that's just going to be a hard decision for him and his family to make. But the business side of it screams Kansas. The business just screams Kansas.
Last thing here, Harold, we'll get you out of here quick. Tomorrow, if you could show up in like a pickup game environment, you could do a like 360 dunk during a pickup game, or would you rather be able to hit a 400-foot home run in like underhand softball? Tomorrow, you can just pull up, and everybody's like, "Oh, Harold's here," and then you just do one of these two things. Which one would you pick?
Well, tomorrow. Are we talking about my current physical state, or I'm like actually
current state right now? Like tomorrow, you signed up and somebody's like, "Hey, come play basketball with us." You're like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll go out there." And then next thing you know, you just do like a 360 windmill dunk in front of everybody.
Boy, current physical state. I just hope I get there. I just hope I'm able to arrive to the court or the diamond. I'll go with the 360 dunk. I'll go with the 360 dunk. I'll go with that.
That is our guy, Harold Kuntz, joining us on the show today. Catch him on Fox 4. He does fantastic work. Today, we're going to catch up with random newscasters from around the city and just ask them questions about them. Harold, I never thought I would interview with you about your life. We got to do this again next year.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I'm actually in front of a Pizza Tassio right now. What's the code?
You know what, Rob? Let's hook our man Harold up with some pizza. I'm going to put you on hold, Harold. Let's see if we can hook my man Harold up with some pizza. We know somebody over there at Pizza Tassio that can hook my man Harold up. Coming up in the 3 o'clock hour, we'll get back to the Royals. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth. Why not start today?
Century Roofing remains the best roofing company to call for insurance claims from storm damage, roof repair, and inspections throughout Kansas City. They were just voted as both the best roofing company in Johnson County for the 4th straight year and the best roofing company in all of Kansas City by readers of the Johnson County Post and the KC Star. So trust the pillars of strength and go with locally owned and female-owned Century Roofing at CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $699.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
This afternoon, patchy fog in the morning, then sunny with a high of 91.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
All right. Coming up at the top of the hour, I want to get to a segment that I've been doing on Sirius the past 2 weeks. It's called Hot Take Mondays, Rob, where I give my absolute hottest takes. And I want to tell you the takes that I've told them I will share with you coming up in just a little bit. I went to the Royals game on Saturday, and I had 2 observations about the Royals that I'd like to share with you. Number 1, Jack Caglione he hits into some spectacular outs. Like, they look really good. He just hits them right at people. You know the saying, man, he hits the ball hard. And I was reading a tweet from Jake Eisenberg how he was just unlucky. And I saw that on Saturday. I mean, he hit 2 balls very well. He just hit them right at people. One was a spectacular play, I believe, by Francisco Lindor. He made a great play on the ball. There was 1 out. He then hit the ball as far as you can hit it at Kauffman Stadium without hitting a home run. It was just a very unfortunate set of events for Jack Caglione. I felt kind of bad for the youngster heading into the All-Star break. That was number 1. Number 2, Bobby Witt Jr. he does some amazing things on a baseball diamond. I mean, back-to-back days, he has made a Derek Jeter, Ozzie Smith level defensive play. He made that on Saturday when I was there. And then yesterday, as I'm sitting there watching it, he did it again. I mean, a ball that not a lot of shortstops can get to be able to make that play, to be able to turn around and make that throw and force an out. Just some spectacular plays from Bobby Witt Jr. this weekend. So 2 things I noticed from the Royals that I don't know what it is. And I'm sure everybody feels this way when they go to a Royals game. If I go to the Royals game, they're losing 3-1. Rob, they've lost 4 straight games that I've been to, and they've scored 6 runs I looked up in those games. If I go to the Royals game, they got a 3-1 loss coming. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I've done. They just got a 3-1 loss coming if I am in attendance. And that's what Saturday was. Another one of those games. You thought they had a chance. They had a runner on third. They had a runner on third with no outs. They had their 2, 3, and 4 hitter all due up. Didn't score. Didn't score a run. I knew it. I should have left right then and there. But my friend wanted to see the end of the game, and then he wants to take a picture in front of the scoreboard like, oh, let me get Mets one. You don't get away from me with that. I'm not taking no picture with you. While the Royals just lost, get away from me. But that was my 2 observations. Jack Caglione, he just hits into some spectacular outs. I mean, they're outs, but they look good, though. They're really impressive, encouraging outs. And Bobby Witt Jr., he's amazing, man. He does something once a game, once a homestand that you think to yourself, that's one of the best baseball players in the world. Those are my 2 observations from going to watch the Royals on Saturday afternoon.
Do you think Kansas City appreciates how good Bobby Witt is? Like, I'm not saying that people don't think he's very good at baseball. I'm not insinuating that. But he is. Vern says all the time, he might be one of the best players in the sport on the planet. Kansas City has a top, let's just say 5. We'll be conservative. Top 5 baseball player in the sport right now who does, like you said, night in, night out, he is going to do something really impressive at the ballpark. Do you think Kansas City appreciates his greatness the way they should, or are they kind of, because the Royals as a whole have been an organization that struggles and he's only been a part of a splash of success to the team, they don't truly appreciate his greatness the way they should? Because the things he does, if you go out there and watch on TV night in and night out, man, it is truly great to watch. And I don't think he gets the love locally that I think he should.
Yeah, I mean, I think he does. I think there's a couple of things that are, I guess, maybe at a negative for him. I would say, number 1, like, he doesn't really have much personality. Where Mahomes isn't, I don't want to make it seem like Mahomes is eccentric, but Mahomes plays with a certain level of swagger and flair that I don't really think that he does. So I think that's some of it. I also think back in 2015, where it was kind of spaced out, you had a combination of all of those things. Moose certainly had his own personality. Salvi was the jokester. Him and Lorenzo Cain's dynamic. Gordon was probably a lot closer to what Bobby Witt Jr. was. So I do think there was like maybe more of a balance where everybody kind of gravitated towards who they liked based on their personality. I think that kind of hurts them. I just also think like this is kind of the beginning of it. You're right. Like you haven't had that success yet. You had one phenomenal year, But this year, Bobby hasn't had one of those monster dynamic seasons. I mean, you go out there, I think you have now seen, if you have decided to make a jersey purchase after the 2015 run, you have already purchased your jersey and you have the new Bobby Witt Jr. jersey. You see a lot of those City Connect uniforms out there that if you haven't bought any Royals stuff in the last couple years, you want to go out there and you want to get the new Bobby Witt jersey. So I do think that everybody acknowledges that he's a great player. I don't know if he has a personality that kind of draws you into his game. So that's why I don't think you see it kind of over the top in that way. Where if you think about it with the Chiefs, and I know it's hard to remove their individual and team success, but Kelsey has always had a big personality. Chris Jones has a personality. Tyrann Mathieu, Frank Clark. Like the Chiefs kind of have characters in a way. That's not really what Bobby Witt Jr. is.
Yeah, I wonder, I am not at all comparing these as, well, actually this comparison is going to work better, I think. Is it fair to call him Mike Trout? Like Mike Trout was at the peak of his powers was a freak. He was maybe one of the best baseball players of the 2010s. Like he was incredible when healthy, but he just had no charisma, maybe is the right term, no off the field presence. He just was, I'm going to play my 162, I'm going to put up great numbers, and I'm going to go home and mind my business. I think Bobby Witt's cut more from that Mike Trout cloth. But because we live in the social media era, I wonder if, since he isn't the big personality or out at, power and light like the 2015 group was, or, eccentric like Mahomes is, I wonder if people truly accept his pure greatness. Because between the lines, there's 3-4 players in the sport right now that are better, and you could argue that he's 3 right now, and 2 if you don't count the fact that Ohtani plays 2 positions.
Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, I have a better question for you, and don't be a homer. Is it fair to keep Witt in Kansas City, or should the Royals let him go elsewhere and win some championships? I think it's fair to point out that Bobby Witt Jr. is 24 years old, and he just signed an 11-year, $300 million contract a year ago. He signed this on February 5th of 2024. Bobby Witt Jr. is not going anywhere. Now, there's an out in this deal, which I think is really, really important. If Bobby Witt Jr. doesn't feel like the Royals are heading in the right direction, he can opt out of this pretty early on in his career. He can opt out at the end of his 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th season if he wants to. So if Bobby Witt doesn't feel like the Royals are heading in the right direction at 28 years old, he can just say, I don't want to play for you guys anymore. I'm out. I think that's very important to note when it comes to Bobby Witt Jr. So no, he ain't going anywhere. There's no reason to talk about letting Bobby Witt Jr. go anywhere. What they need to be trying to figure out is how at 24 years old, when they have one of the 10 best players in the American League, how they can make this thing work and win with him at the center of everything. And how you get him back to having those monster years. Last year, I think most people considered Bobby Witt to be the second best player in the American League behind Aaron Judge. I don't think that's how he's viewed today. Now, that's for a lot of different reasons. He's having a good season. Like, I don't want to paint it like he's not having a good season. He is hitting .294 with 14 home runs and 54 RBIs. He's going to finish this season with 20-something home runs, 80, 90 RBIs, and still 20 bases. Like, he is en route to having a phenomenal season. But it doesn't feel as magical as it felt last season with Bobby Witt. Like, last year, there was a legitimate argument that he was the American League MVP. I don't think you feel that way about him today. So how do you get him kind of back to where he was last year? I also, maybe this was like a big deal. I wasn't really on social media that much on Saturday. I still don't understand how Bobby Witt was called out at second base. I'm at the game. I got pretty good seats. I'm like directly in line where I can see second base. They then show it on the screen. I'm confused at how they overturned it. Can anybody help me? Maybe they showed a different angle than they did on television. Rob, I'm not sure if you were watching it at the time. Can you tell me how Bobby Witt was called out at second base and caught stealing? Because he clearly looked safe to me the entire time. I haven't seen an angle since that would convince me that Bobby Witt Jr. was not safe on Saturday.
Bobby Witt Jr. is 100% safe. And this is, we talked about
So what happened? How did they overturn it?
This is what happened. And we talked about a bunch in the show, and we're against the break. He slid off the bag with a sliding glove for like a millisecond, and the tag was still on him, which is
so some nonsense, basically.
100% not the point of replay that we frame by frame. He's safe. 100. I cannot believe they called him out. Like, the minute that happened, I know you're at the game. I was watching the game. I was with some friends. I'm like, we're done. We can change the channel. The minute he's out, this game is over. They're not scoring another run today. They're cooked. It's over.
I'm still trying to figure out how they had a runner on third base with their second, third, and fourth hitter up third base, nobody out with their best hitters coming up, and they didn't score a run during there. That kind of said everything you need to know about the Royals, at least for Saturday, and what they were going to do from an offensive standpoint. Coming up at the top of the hour, Rob, it is a Hot Take Monday. I'll share with you some of my hottest sports opinions. That's coming up. Keep it right here. So drive.
Hey, it's Cole Reagans from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll get your stake back if they finish second. Log in today and make your picks with confidence with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter. Or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of five-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Getting the job done right the first time protects your home, time, and budget. This month, get $500 off a water softener and filtration combo. Schedule at AnthonyPHCE.com.
You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Chiefs football. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, I want to tell you guys something that I've been doing. I've been filling in on SiriusXM Channel 82 for Adam Shine for the last couple of days or so. So I was on there last Monday, Rob, and I did a Hot Take Monday. So I gave some of my hottest opinions and ask people to call in to give me their hot opinions. I'm going to tell you what hot takes I had. Rob, I'll allow you to share. Text line, I'll read yours. This will be a fun exercise. Number one, you guys already know the way I feel about March Madness. Oh, well, you feel that way because you cheer for Missouri. You're allowed to feel that way. March Madness is fine. It's fine. It's a basketball tournament. The basketball tournament's great. The best part of March Madness happens while we're at work. That's why we like it so much. It's really cool that Thursday or Friday, Rob, where you and I are supposed to be working on the show, but we're all huddled around and we're watching games and they cater food for us and we're all talking about our bracket. It goes downhill after the Thursday and Friday. Once we just got to sit at home and watch college basketball, it ain't as fun anymore. It is the only tournament that we watch that peaks in the round one. The NFL playoffs get better as they keep going. The NBA playoffs continue to get better. Baseball, every playoff that we watch gets better as it progresses. The best 2 days of March Madness are the first two. And shockingly, they happen while it's 11 o'clock in the morning. We don't get a whole lot of sporting events that way. Another hot take, Rob, you know how I feel about this. I want them to get rid of instant replay. Sports would be better if we didn't have instant replay. Yes, they would get some things wrong. They get things wrong now with the same 4K cameras and information. We'd be in the same situation, just a lot faster is where we'd be at. We'd quit stopping everything for nonsense for them to miss it anyway. So those are two hot takes that I gave. These were the two that I gave earlier today. The BCS was right. The BCS was right. I've been watching a lot of college football documentaries lately, and I was really thinking about this. Man, the BCS never really led us that far astray. You know what would have never happened in the old college football system? You couldn't lose to Michigan in the final week of the season, not compete in the Big Ten championship, and still have a chance to win the national championship. That ain't how it used to work back in the day. It would have forced Ohio State to beat Michigan at the end of the season. That's what it would have done. Then they lose, Michigan plants the flag, and it's like, oh, well, I mean, guess it doesn't really matter. You're still making the playoff anyway. No, you don't get to still make the playoff. The BCS was right way more times than not because it factored everything in. It factored in who you played, who you beat, how many points you beat them by. The computers were actually really, really smart in determining a champion. There are not 16 teams that can win the national championship. That's what we're trying to think of. We're trying to think of a system. It doesn't really matter. There's 3, maybe 4 teams. And what used to happen is out of those 4 teams, teams would eliminate themselves because you lost. You had a chance. Alabama plays Georgia at the end of the season in the SEC championship game. The winner advances. The loser is done and goes to the Peach Bowl. You know what that sounds like to me? A playoff. The BCS was right. That's one of my hot takes. The BCS was right. The other one is we don't need 7, 8 chances to get into the Hall of Fame. You should get 1 chance. When you're done playing baseball, when you're done playing football, you wait your 5-year period and they sit down and they discuss your career 1 time. Eli Manning is not throwing new touchdown passes. Eli Manning is not winning another Super Bowl. We have all the Eli Manning information that we need to determine on whether or not he is a Hall of Famer. You sit down the 1 time, and if you don't make it in that 1 vote, I'm sorry, it's unfortunate, but you're done here. You don't get 4 or 5, oh, we feel bad for you, so let's vote you into the Hall of Fame. It's supposed to be hard. It's the Hall of Fame. Everybody's not supposed to make it. Every player that made the Pro Bowl 3 times in their 14-year career doesn't need to be in the Hall of Fame. It should be for the elite, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. We're letting in too many good players into the Hall of Fame. Those are my hot takes, Rob. Let's go back to the BCS days. The BCS was right. It was accurate. It was the best way of determining who could play for the national championship. March Madness is overrated. It is you trying to convince yourself that you're really excited for Notre Dame, Wisconsin, and that 7-10 matchup. You're not that excited about it. I have 4 months of data that would suggest you don't care that much about this game, but now we're hoping that somebody hits a buzzer beater, but instead we get regular college basketball, which is cool, it's fine, but it ain't the best sporting event in the world. You get one chance to be voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, baseball, all those things. You get one chance. There's no 9 opportunities for you to get in there. No, you weren't good enough the first 7 times. We're done having this conversation. You get one shot. Give me your hot take, Rob.
Let me ask you a real question on the Hall of Fame take. Then I'll tell you mine. I have one quick question. Are you okay then with Hall of Fame classes being 15, 20 deep? Because if you're cool with 25 people speaking in Canton, that's fine. You get your one and done because Terrell Owens is the example I'll use. Terrell Owens is one of the best wide receivers we've ever seen. He was not in the first ballot Hall of Fame. In your world, there wouldn't be a second ballot, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But that means T.O. makes on the first one. That means everyone's making it on the first one. Are you cool with NFL Network carrying 25 people speaking? Because that's the downfall of your system.
Yeah, that's how many people get in this year. I mean, I don't think we're going to have a year where there's 25 people, but I get the point that you're making. Some years will be greater than others. I also think what happens is, so in the instance of T.O., someone said, well, then T.O. wouldn't be in your Hall of Fame. I also think that they didn't vote T.O. in to make a point. We all know that T.O. was a first ballot Hall of Famer. But if eventually he's going to get in, we don't have to get him in now. Let's vote for these other people, and then we'll wait. Then it all becomes a game. I think Eli Manning eventually gets into the Hall of Fame. I don't think he gets in the first chance. In fact, they've already done it. He didn't get in the first chance. I think Eli eventually gets in. He'll get in like the 3rd or 4th time. We can already see the video they're putting together for Eli. Peyton is the one that makes the call. Eli says that he never thought this day was going to come. I mean, we've seen this happen a million times before. Let's eliminate that. You get one chance to be a Hall of Famer. You don't get 7, 8, 9 chances. We sit there at the table and we discuss it. And we vote at the end of it. Are you truly one of the greatest players? Let's remove our personal feelings. Let's remove how we feel about how nice or not nice you were to the media, what off-the-field transgressions you had. Your playing career, were you one of the truly greatest players to ever play? And if the answer is no from enough people, I'm sorry that you don't get to go in the Hall of Fame, but I'm sorry you don't get to go in the Hall of Fame. That's how I wish it worked.
I don't hate the Hall of Fame take. The BCS take is bad, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think you're going to like my hot take, but it's fine.
Let's go.
The fact that we reward the worst teams in sports with the top pick in the draft is stupid. We should be eliminating the draft if we're going to reward the worst teams. Bryce Young is so good that he gets rewarded by going to the Panthers. The Panthers were so terrible. They get the reward of, hey, here's a franchise player that forever can change your organization because you did the best job at being the worst team. It's stupid. We got to stop rewarding people who suck. The Cleveland Cavaliers sucked hard twice. They then got 2 franchise-changing players, and then they were good. That is not how it should work. We should not say, you were the best and you were the worst, but because we feel bad for you because you were the worst, we're now going to change the whole fate of your city and your organization because you sucked the worst. That's stupid. And then you would see less tanking in sports, and teams would be forced to go for it. The salary cap balance would be more interesting without a cap in the draft, but the fact that we have a draft that gives the top players of the worst teams just absolutely stupid. It's the dumbest thing we do.
What do you want them to do? How would you handle it?
It's true.
You want them like a true. You want okay. So you want like Arch Manning to be able to go play for anybody.
Arch Manning can play for anyone. You got to balance your cap. If you're the Jags and you think, hey, in 2 years Arch Manning's a free agent, I'm not paying Trevor Lawrence. You can do that. You can massage your cap that way. But if you're, a team that spends a lot of money but still bad. If you're the New York Giants, perfect example. If you're the New York Giants and you spend a lot of money on your D-line and you still stink and you don't have any money, you don't get to draft, Nussmeier 1 overall. I'm sorry, you stink. You're going to stink again next year. Balance your cap better.
Text line 913-586-7965. It is a Hot Take Monday. We want to hear what your absolute hottest sports takes are. What are your opinions that get people to look at you funny in the group chat? What's the sports opinion that make people turn their head at you and say that's a terrible take? That's the beauty of a hot take. It's your opinion. Get rid of instant replay. You guys still complain about the officiating, and we have all the technology in the world. We have all the 4K see it. We have all of the technology. We still get calls blatantly wrong all the time. So I want to know what you guys' opinion are. And you'll never convince me that we need 9 times to determine if you're a Hall of Famer or not. No, you get 1 vote, 1 chance to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And if you're, because there's some people that we don't need to debate. We don't need to debate Tom Brady. We don't need to debate Barry Sanders. Well, of course they're Hall of Famers. That's how obvious it should be. Once we get to where you got to really think about it with the guy, and then we got to really debate and go back and forth, and I got to give you a yes and no and why, then you're not a Hall of Famer, and that's okay. Only the guys like Deion Sanders, only the guys like Adrian Peterson, they're the only ones that should be in the Hall of Fame, because that's how special it is to be a Hall of Famer. Guys that really move the needle, guys that really impact the game, guys that win games. Those are the guys that should be in the Hall of Fame. That would be one of my fixes. I want to hear what you guys' hot takes are. 913-586-7965. We're also going to continue our journey around the news. We got Nick Vassos coming up in just a bit. One of my favorite people. We'll talk to him next. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life, and fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600, or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-355-8282. That's 800-355-8282. Again, that's 800-355-8282.
It's not too late to enjoy your summer with a new or improved deck. Go to PowellExteriorsKC.com to schedule a consultation today. Get your free estimate now, and you could be enjoying your new deck or patio in a matter of weeks. You are one click away from your best summer ever.
This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
Check the back seat. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good, because every year dozens of children are forgotten in the back seat. Cars get hot fast and can be deadly, so get it in your head. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And we cut to size. Because just like taxes and BS, we think metal is better when cut. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Find a store or shop online at metalsupermarkets.com.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this. Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Two big problems. Blue Springs, 170 westbound just past Adams Dairy Parkway. The left lane is blocked by a two-car crash. And then 70 eastbound at 7 Highway, the right lane blocked. So scoot to the left. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val. 96.5, The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
Our next guest always says, when are you going to invite me on the show? Well, we have finally invited him on the show. Nick Vassos of Fox 4 joins us on the show today to just answer my random questions. Nick, you have finally made it onto the show today. How do you feel?
Yes, finally. It's taken years for you to invite me on the show. We welcome you every week on our Friday broadcast for football season and Red Fridays, but here I am on the drive, and I could not be happier. Thank you, Carrington Harrison.
We're absolutely happy to have you. We have been having news people on today to ask them this question. I've actually never heard this. Can you tell us how you got your start in the business?
Well, I'm a Kansas City native first and foremost. Went to UMKC, got an internship at a very small radio station, a daylight station, called KCTE, and worked there in sports, got some radio experience, eventually started doing some news, then I started doing some traffic, and then eventually started doing some Chiefs traffic. And then fast forward a couple of years later, when one person left Fox 4, somebody suggested that I audition for a job in the helicopter in 2002. I auditioned, and I got the job, and here I am 24 years later working at Kansas City's oldest and most trusted station, Fox 4, and I couldn't be happier.
All right, a couple of things I want to ask you is, I'm assuming nationally I could probably guess what the biggest stories you've had to cover. From a local perspective, since you've been on the front desk, what would you say is the biggest local story that you've had to cover?
Oh, my. Wow. Geez. Whoa. I would say maybe I'd say the World Cup is up there, just in terms of because I'm a big soccer fan, and I know how big it is for our city. To land the World Cup is a huge story, and continues to be. And also the stadiums. The stadium issue is also two very big issues that we're covering right now.
All right, about the stadium, I was going to go there. We can just go ahead and we can go there right now. Where do you want, as a lifelong Chiefs fan, I know you love your Chiefs. You also love nostalgia. What do you want the Chiefs to do? Do you want them to have the brand new stadium in Kansas, or do you want them to renovate the stadium that they have in Missouri?
Carrington, I know you talk to a lot of people. I believe the feelings are mixed. You know, I believe that there are a lot of people who think that the Chiefs should go over to the Kansas side. And, you know, based on the renderings, and we can't base everything on just, you know, what somebody drew up. But the renderings look amazing over on the Kansas side. But I got to tell you, about 2 weeks ago, I took my son to the Metallica concert and went to Empower Field in Denver. You know, that stadium is not too old. And they had like 100,000 people in the stadium to watch Metallica show. And I was up in the upper deck. And I felt really distant from what was going on down on the field. And I've sat in the upper deck at Arrowhead many, many times. And you are definitely closer to the field at Arrowhead than you are at some of these other big stations. And Arrowhead carries a lot of nostalgia. People love the outdoors. People love the grass surface. They love the tradition that Arrowhead has to offer. For me, I like Arrowhead. I like Arrowhead where it is. I like the tradition. There's so much history there. And I can see why people want to keep Arrowhead right where it is.
Right now, we're talking to Nick Vassos. He is with Fox 4. We're being joined by some of our news friends today on the show to celebrate the All-Star Week. So I had a friend that came in from town this week. He is from Manhattan. He has never been to Kansas City. He came to town to watch the Mets. So I was kind of taking him around, and I was showing him different places in the city, and he told me that every person had suggested that he go to Q39 for barbecue. I imagine that you have people come in from out of town, and they ask you, where should they get barbecue? Where should they eat? What do you tell them when you get asked this question?
I don't say just one. I offer 4, maybe 5 places. And so if I were to list 5 places, I would say I would start with Slaps Barbecue at 7th and Central in downtown KCK. I would also mention Joe's Kansas City. I would mention Q39. I would mention Jack Stack Barbecue. And I would also mention my favorite place to get burn-ins, the limited edition burn-ins, and that comes from Zarda Barbecue, who also has a pretty mean beef sandwich too. So those are my 5. And I also would say, hey, you can throw a dart at a KC map and you're going to land on a restaurant, a barbecue restaurant that you're going to enjoy. So choose any of them, and you'll be satisfied going home.
I will say this, Nick Vassos, and I want to give you some time so you can shout them out. There's one restaurant in town that you put me on to that I wasn't super familiar with before I started popping on you guys' show. It is Buck Tooey. They had this pork belly burn-in one time. I'm telling you, it was some of the best barbecue that I had ever had. You were the first one to ever tell me about Buck Tooey.
Ted Liberta, who is one of the chefs over there with his award-winning wife, Pam Liberta. And Buck Tooey started as a food truck. And these guys have just worked their craft, and they've got the most unique barbecue. It's not just flat out barbecue, but it's got what would you call it, C-Dot? It's got this is it not Asian inspired, Thai inspired, and it's just so unique and a little bit different than regular Kansas City barbecue. Buck Tooey is great, and whenever we have Ted on, he has some of the most amazing tasting food that, and I just love his infectious attitude also. He loves what he does, and boy, you can tell it's some of the best barbecue out there. Buck Tooey. Check it out if you haven't.
Absolutely. All right, I have to get your thoughts on this. Give me like an underrated Kansas City restaurant. Like if somebody was coming in from out of town and they were telling you not a barbecue place, but somewhere underrated. I'll offer a place. There is this sushi restaurant in Overland Park called Sakura. It's a sushi train. So you sit there at the bar, and it's like a model train that they put plates on, and it goes around the table, and you grab plates and you eat sushi. It's a really nice place. I don't think enough people know about it. If you had to suggest one under the radar Kansas City restaurant for people to try, what would you tell them?
Oh gosh. Let's see here. I would say, how about if you're on the Kansas side and you're not too far from the state line, I'd say try the Tavern in the Village. It's got good quality food, and Tavern in the Village. If you haven't been there, you got to try it out at least once.
Okay, a couple questions about you, Nick, and we'll get you out of here. I'm happy that you made your first appearance on the show. My first concert, I went to go see Jay-Z. I saw Jay-Z in St. Louis. What was your first concert?
My Doobie Brothers at Kemper Arena. and I went with some of my basketball friends. And I think I was 14 at the time, and it was a good show.
Okay, I've never heard a Nick Vassos basketball story. Can you give me a Nick Vassos basketball story? Like, you had to be like one of those scrappy guards.
Well, actually, I was one of those guys who grew fast in junior high school. So when I was playing in junior high, I was one of the more taller players. And I could jump pretty good, too, believe it or not, C-Dot. And so I played forward. And I had a quality jump shot. And I could jump a little bit higher and grab some boards for you also. They didn't let me handle the ball as much as I wanted to. But if you toss it to me and I'm in the corner, I'm like Scotty Wedman. It's like money in the bank with the rainbow jumper from the baseline, I'm telling you.
Okay, I didn't know this about you. I had no clue that you were a knockdown shooter. I learned something today. All right, Nick, tell me one hobby that you have that people don't know, that they see you on the news. People would never guess that you are one of these, that you really like to do this in your free time. What is that?
Oh, gosh. Well, let's see. I don't know. It's golf. Does golf count?
That counts, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'd say, yeah, I like to play golf. And I think people who watch Fox 4 have seen the commercial where I walk both of my dogs. I mean, I usually walk my dogs every day. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a hobby or not, but that's just an activity that I enjoy, getting out with the dogs and walking for a little bit. So there you have it.
All right. Keeping it right now, we have Nick Vassos on the show. Nick, is there a movie that you can quote every single line? Like if I told you, hey, there's $1 million contest, you have to suggest the movie, and we'll see how accurate you can get with the quotes in the movie. That movie for me would be Wedding Crashers. I've seen that movie endless amount of times. I feel pretty confident I could get close to 100%. What's the movie for you that you can quote?
So I would say it would be Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. When I was in 1977, I was in Iowa City, Iowa, and I was helping my uncle, who was the manager of the Englert Theater in downtown Iowa City. And Star Wars was debuting, and I was a ticket terror as well as helping out in the concession stand. And after everybody would go in, I would go up to the balcony and I watched Star Wars. The first time it came out, I watched Star Wars 35 consecutive times. Since then, I probably watched it another 100. And so while I can't maybe quote everything in the movie, I bet I could come very close, not quite 100%, but very close to your Wedding Crashers percentage.
I had no clue that you love Star Wars like this. Who was your favorite character?
Luke Skywalker, for sure. I mean, to me, Star Wars is the perfect hero versus villain story. And then as the series goes on, it's more about the redemption of the villain, which I just absolutely love. I just love it. I still watch that like it's the first time I've seen it. If it's on television, I'll stop and sit down and settle in and watch it. One of those movies.
Last thing here. I mean, there's been a handful of celebrities that have come up to the news station when I've been up there. Who is the most famous person that has actually stopped by the Fox 4 desk and you guys got a chance to talk to him?
Oh, let's see here. Well, let's see. I've talked to Billy D. Williams. I've talked to Emilio Estevez. I've talked to, let's see here. Who else have I talked to? Too many to count, quite honestly. I know at one point Charles Heston came by our studios. I wasn't there for that, but I heard that. Just a lot of people, probably too many to count. I have to go back and look at the tapes.
How excited are you that you're going to get a chance to see me every week coming up in 6 or 7 weeks or so?
This is going to be a good year. I can't wait for the season to start again, Carrington. I can't wait to hear you back on our airwaves on Friday for our Red Friday coverage. It's going to be a great year this year. Will the Chiefs will their high-flying offense return after being down? I hear a lot of things about Patrick Mahomes, but the one thing you cannot deny Patrick, and that is his third down conversions last season. That's what kept the Chiefs in the regular season. He converted more third downs, and, of course, a lot of crazy things happened with the Chiefs' offense and defense that got them their record. But I think this year's going to be another fun year for the Chiefs, and I can't wait for it to unfold.
Well, Nick, you know what I can't wait for? I can't wait for the Chiefs to start 5-1, and then you tell me how Las Vegas is going to come into town and ruin everything for the Chiefs. You always have that one game every year that you're super nervous about. I can't wait for that week.
Well, have I been right or have I been right?
You actually have been right a couple of times. I'll give you that. You have told me, hey, I'm really worried about Carolina, and then Carolina takes them to the wire. You have been right a couple of times.
I'm telling you, there's those games in the season, those trap games, those games that you might look ahead at. You got to be careful with those games, and so I mean it's going to be great. And this year, Carrington, we're going to make sure that we have food for you every Friday. All right, we're going to have some food for you, and we're going to mix it up a little bit. All right.
All right, I like hearing that. Tell Carla from Hy-Vee that I said hello, and I look forward to seeing her coming up in September. That is Nick Vassos joining us on the show. Catch him on Fox 4. Nick, we appreciate your time, man.
Hey, thank you, C-Dot. Really appreciate you having me on, man.
Absolutely. That is Nick Vassos joining us on the show today. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we're going to be joined by Brian Busby. I've never got a chance to ask Brian Busby how he became a weatherman. I really want to know the Brian Busby backstory of how he became a weatherman. I remember Brian Busby came to my school when I was in elementary. I mean, I imagine this was every Kansas City kid's story. Rob, did you ever have one of the weather people come to your school and they try to explain to you how you get a tornado? And I remember someone was like, oh, I know it's like hot and cold. And he was like, well, a tornado doesn't happen every time you open your freezer in the summer. And it just blew my mind. I was like, oh, you're right. Maybe that's not how a tornado happens. Brian Busby taught me something that day. I remember that story. I can't wait to tell him that story coming up in 10 minutes.
Did you ever have, now maybe this was unique to my school, did you ever have Johnny Rollins land his helicopter on your football field?
No, we didn't do that.
That happened to me once in middle school, and it was like, we thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then
Two Americas. You got to be, come on now, two Americas
that's very
now.
Two Americas.
Yeah. When was this, elementary school?
This was middle school. I was sixth grade.
Okay, middle school. Yeah, nah, come on now. I went to Lincoln when I was in middle school. You think that Johnny Rollins was pulling up?
Lincoln wasn't just going to have him land on the football field and say hello to all the kids? Come on.
No, it wasn't happening. I'm not surprised though. He pulled up in the Blue Valley School District to educate the kids. Shout out to Johnny Rollins. Doesn't he have like a driving school around the city?
I think I've seen him have a drive. Yeah, I think I've seen the cars with his name on it. So yeah, if it's the same Johnny Rollins, then yes, he has the cars.
Wow, somebody said Brian Busby told me to be quiet at the assembly. Man, you was cutting up when Brian Busby was in town. You should have got detention, brother. You should have went straight to detention. You was acting crazy when Brian Busby was there. You was in the room of legends. Nah, you can't be acting crazy when he's there. Somebody said Garrett Wilson just got a new contract. I actually have not seen it. Have you seen a Garrett Wilson contract come through? I'm not on Twitter, so I haven't even seen it.
I have not seen a Garrett Wilson contract come through.
Okay, let's see if we got one.
Here we go. I got you. Garrett Wilson has reached a 4-year, $130 million contract extension with $90 million guaranteed with the New York Jets.
Hey, Garrett Wilson, dog.
5 for 130 with 90 guaranteed. Wasn't he like, didn't he have trade rumors like this time last year, and now he's a $90 million man?
Yeah, most of the time guys want to get traded so they can go get paid. But if the team that actually is all that I'm on wants to pay me, sure, we're very, very happy to have it. Great. That's a big time contract.
He's only played 3 seasons in the league. He's the first player in NFL history to get an average of over $31 million after only 3 seasons. So after 3 seasons, he's in Rashee Rice's draft class, right?
No, because Rashee Rice is at the end of year 2.
No, Rashee Rice is at the end of year 3.
Oh, I'm saying at the end of this year. Yeah, I'm saying, no, he's played 2 seasons and he has one more year left.
Right.
So he's not eligible for an extension.
He's the year before. I apologize. Correct. I just apologize. Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, the Chiefs ain't giving Rashee Rice 4 years, $130 million and $90 million guaranteed. So we can go and get that. I also don't think he's proven he's worth that so far. Now, you go out, you have a big-time season this year, and we'll see what that looks like. But Garrett Wilson is a better receiver than Rashee Rice.
100%. He's also been, I mean, if we're going to talk about Rashee right now, Rashee is missing a year due to health, albeit a freak accident. Like, that's part of the story of Rashee Rice. But the fact this contract got done fast, wow.
I mean, Garrett Wilson's had 3 really, really strong seasons. He might be one of those guys, like we always say, hey, this guy would be better with a better quarterback. I mean, he's put up numbers with very different situations.
He ain't going to have a better quarterback next year.
I mean, he's going to put up 1,000 yards, kid. That's who he's going to be.
They're basically locking him in to be Garrett Nussmeier's receiver.
I mean, basically, all Garrett Wilson needs to do for 3 more years is keep doing this, and you guys will argue he's a Hall of Famer because it'll be Mike Evans. That's who it will be. He's had 3 years of 90 catches, 1,000 yards. And if he keeps doing that, he'll be Mike Evans. So congratulations, Garrett Wilson. You're on a Hall of Fame track. That's what I have learned with all of this. So we'll talk about this. Actually, very interesting. Garrett Wilson just signed a deal. Does that make him the highest paid receiver in the league? I assume that does. I'm trying to think top of my head. I assume he's really, really close to the highest paid receiver in the National Football League. If he's not with the $130 and $90 million guaranteed, I got a toss-up question to ask you, Rob, before we're joined by Brian Busby, and I cannot wait to talk to Brian Busby. Let's say that you and Caroline are going out on a Friday night, and you and her just want to go out, get some drinks, just have a good, peaceful evening, right? When you walk into the bar, are you more inclined to leave if they have live music or karaoke? Like, which one, when you walk in there and you see that's the vibe for the evening, you think either we're not going in there or you know in the back of your mind we're not going to be in here for a long period of time? Is that when you see the man playing the guitar that's singing a song? Or is that when you see that anybody can come up there and sing some of your favorite songs? What gets you to leave the bar sooner on a Friday? Is it the live music or the karaoke?
But real quick, on a per-year average, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, DK, A.J. Brown, all make more than him. That's on a per-year basis. I didn't look up those guys are all better than Garrett Wilson, so they deserve more money. So to answer your question is actually fascinating for this reason. If I have carte blanche and I get to leave no matter what, the answer is different than if my wife has a say. Because if there is a bar that has karaoke and we are at said bar,
she wants to sing.
She's going to sing.
She wants to sing.
It's not a want to. It's going to happen. It's a matter of the when. It's not a if. It's a matter of it'll be pre-dinner, post-dinner, during dinner. She is going to sing.
I didn't know she was a karaoke queen. I didn't know this.
You know, the amount of times I've gone to a bar, like, hey, let's go out and watch KU. They play at 7. Cool. Let's go to this bar. That's a random pick, honey. No problem. Oh, they have karaoke tonight. That's why I'm here now. So that's, if it's, I would prefer live music over karaoke because there are some good local live music bands in town. Dolomite comes to mind. I've seen them a couple times at a bar. They're very fun. But if I'm with my wife, we are going to a karaoke bar, and she is going to sing, so that's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, I got to be really in the right mindset for the live music performance. I really got to be there because then part of me is thinking, why do I, like, at least karaoke is fun, right? You're not expecting somebody to go up there and blow you away at karaoke, but it's fun to kind of sing with them. They're having, like, it's kind of lighthearted. For the live music, I'm also thinking to myself, why do I want to hear you do my favorite songs worse? Like, there is a best version of this song. Like, there is a very good version. Why do I want to hear you do this? Why do I want to hear your version of Purple Rain? We don't need a new version. Prince's version's fine. It's great, actually. It's a timeless. Your guitar solo is not better than the guitar solo in that song. Why do I want to hear it? So I'm probably thinking the live music. I got to be in the right mindset.
Yeah, but there's
to hear the live. I got to be in the right vibe to hear the live music.
There's some like pretty good live local musicians though. Like I've been to a couple bars where I'm like, this band is good. Like you're right. Beyonce's version of whatever song is better when you play her song. But there's a few bands in town where I'm like, this is an enjoyable experience. Sometimes at karaoke, you get someone go up there and they pick a song that does not fit the vibe and they do a terrible job and they get no applause and they just sign up for another song and it's no good at all. Like you're sitting there watching a game and all of a sudden some sad song comes on. Like, what are we doing? That's bad.
Definitely killing the vibe. There's nothing worse than the person that kills the vibe with the karaoke. Like, this is all like fun and lighthearted. You just can't go up there and sing Baby Got Back. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Just go up there and sing that.
I don't need you to do God Bless the Broken Road. Yeah, we are all having fun and having drinks. It's a fun, lively atmosphere. Please don't bring us down.
Yeah, what's going on here? Garrett Wilson just got paid. He got a massive contract. What was it, 4 for $140 and $90 guaranteed? Was that the deal that Garrett Wilson got? It was a big-time deal. I think he's now the 6th highest paid receiver in the league. That's what Rob said. Coming up on the other side, we are being joined by our news friends. Brian Busby is going to be on the show. How did Brian Busby become a weatherman? We're going to ask him. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Catch Hall of Famer Denny Matthews every Monday at 3.
And gone, Bobby Witt.
On your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event, up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified pre-owned vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months, plus a $200 gas card with purchase. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Imagine buying your next car from one dealership.
With the support of many.
With everything you'll ever need.
When you buy from any of the Balderson Auto Group dealerships, you're getting the support from all of our dealerships.
Like our 100 service bays, collision, and detail centers.
And our free exclusive lifetime warranty. No other auto group gives you that.
From north, central, south, the Balderson Auto Group has you covered.
A family committed to
excellence, growth,
and harmony.
Go to bagkc.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Holy cow, you've done it again.
We've done it again, Toby. We won the President's Award again this year. This is the 22nd time we've been awarded this awesome honor from Ford Motor Company.
But what is the President's Award?
The President's Award is the top award Ford Motor Company gives its dealers for excellence in customer satisfaction in both sales and service and their sales penetration numbers. So we are super honored to have received this award for the 22nd time.
It covers the whole works at Lewisburg Ford.
Absolutely, and it's a testament to the awesome people we have working at Lewisburg Ford and helping our customers, and it really shows with this award because it's only a few dealers that get it, and we've done it 22 times.
I guarantee you this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck in the Midwest.
Absolutely. You couple that President's Award lineage with our no-hassle Toby Tobin pricing, it does not get any better than that.
What is your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Or LewisburgFord.com.
Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City, now open. Dine on mouth-watering appetizers, then feast to one of our 6 American Wagyu burgers, including the Bacon Jam Burger and Blazing Burger. Wash it down with your favorite ice-cold beverage, all while watching the game on one of our 45 TVs. Dine in or carry out. Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City always hits the spot. Brew Brothers and Brew Brothers Express are now open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-BETS-OFF.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And we cut to size. Because just like taxes and BS, we think metal is better when cut. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Find a store or shop online at metalsupermarkets.com.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Blue Springs, you got a crash 70 westbound just past Adams Dairy Parkway. Is the left lane blocked? Kansas side of things, 635 northbound at Kansas Avenue, right lane blocked. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center and Val. 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Nothing makes me more happy than to introduce our next guest. There are some people in our city that have 100% approval. Who doesn't like Patrick Mahomes? Who doesn't like Andy Reid? This person has 100% approval rating. The weatherman of the city, Brian Busby, joins us on the show today. Brian, it is truly an honor to have you join us today. Really appreciate you coming on.
See that? I need your Venmo because that was nice.
No, it's the truth. Brian, there's so many things I want to ask you. There's so many things I want to tell you. This is the first thing is how fun, how rewarding is it when people like me come up to you and tell you that you spoke at their elementary school and I actually remember things that you said?
Wow. What school was it? Do you remember?
I went to Sweeney and Bryant. I remember this like it just happened because people on the text line are telling me that you did this same thing. So somebody asked how we get a tornado, and then it was, is it a mixture of hot and cold? And then you said, no, because if that would happen, then you would get a tornado whenever you opened your freezer in the summer. I remember you saying that, and I was like, man, That's right. See what I'm saying, Brian? I was actually paying attention that day in school.
I guess you were. Now, Sweeney, was that the one that's close to, like Westport?
Yeah.
I think. And you guys gave me a little bear with a little blue sweater on that I still have.
Brian, I don't know how you remember these kind of things.
I see it every once in a while I go through and rummage through some of my more memorable gifts over the years. But it's very flattering, to say the least. And what's funny is now I'm getting folks who are waiting on me at a restaurant who are now in their 30s or saying, yeah, you came to my kid's school. I'm like, oh, great. Okay, 2 generations.
All right. You know what? I've always wanted to ask you this, and I don't think anybody knows. I'm sure somebody knows this story. I've just never heard this. How did you become a weatherman?
Fear. I'm born and raised Cleveland, Ohio. And recently we had the 4th of July. And if you ever look at a 6 or 7 or an 8-year-old during a fireworks show, they're holding their ears because the loud booms scare them. So for me, as an 8-year-old, I hated thunderstorms. And I asked the guy who I watched in Cleveland, Ohio, a guy by the name of Dick Goddard. And Carrington, he had the Guinness Book of World Records for being the longest tenured weatherman in the United States. He was on the same station from 1961 to 2016. That's a long career. Anyway, he was the only meteorologist I knew, so I just wrote him a letter and asked him what causes thunder, and he invited me down to the TV station. And from 3rd grade through 12th grade, I went down there at least once a year. He showed me the maps. And again, because I didn't know about the military, I didn't know about other jobs for a meteorologist, I thought everybody who was a meteorologist was only on television. So that's how I got interested in just taking fear out of what caused weather. And I guess the rest is history, to study it in college. And I'm so blessed to be able to do it as long as I've been able to do it in this town.
Brian, what has kept you in Kansas City this entire time? You're not from here. Usually the people that stay in one market for a long time, that's their home. So it makes sense why they've stayed. You grew up in Cleveland. I'm sure you've had offers to move to other cities. What do you think has kept you in Kansas City since the 80s?
The city itself, honestly, the only time you're really going to possibly lose me, because my trajectory with my agent was to do a few years in Kansas City, and she would get me to be looked at by ABC. And if you remember back in 1998, I was one of 3 finalists for Good Morning America. So I was actually being considered to be on Good Morning America to replace at the time, because they're getting a whole new crew. Spencer Christian was going to be reassigned to the San Francisco ABC station. So I was going to do my time here in Kansas City and then go network. But the more you stay in an area and the more you can put down roots and the more you can make a difference, the more it just seems to make more sense to stay here as opposed to taking a chance to go to a Detroit or a DC or in Atlanta, some of the other jobs I've had offered to me. And so, people ask, how about being a big fish in a small pond? I say, no, I'm a big fish in a happy pond. Because honestly, Kansas City has embraced me and vice versa, and Channel 9 lets me do weather the way I think it should be done, as opposed to, as you know, in this business, there are consultants and there are other people who have an opinion who don't know what you do for a living, who have never done what you do for a living, but still have an opinion about how you should do it. And I just don't have to deal with that. So that's a blessing, to say the least.
Right now, we're talking to Brian Busby, just learning more about him. Brian, whenever you think of weather in Kansas City, I don't remember what year it was. I'm sure you remember there was this big October ice storm. There's just been like these weather things that have happened in my life. When you think of like weather in Kansas City, what is like the thing that you think about the most?
Whoa, I got to narrow it down to one. Oh, that's tough. I would say probably the October surprise of 96 was a good one. The floods of 93, and probably that one more so than the October surprise, because there was so much rain in July that was it July 9th and 10th, where they had to rescue people off the rooftops of Ponex and Margaritas on Southwest Boulevard because of the urban flooding. And so I could see people in rowboats going on the rooftops, trying to get people off the roof and into safety. And those are probably the biggest two that I remember. Obviously, tornado season. The blizzards are tough near like Christmas or New Year's. But again, if I had to talk about just one, it'd probably be the flooding of 93, because I don't know if you remember this also, that particular summer. There was so much flooding that the Missouri was definitely flowing big time. And it took a lot of the highest layer of soil off of some cemeteries out in Hardin, Missouri. And all of those caskets washed all the way down to where the Missouri and the Mississippi River come together outside of St. Louis. And a lot of those bodies have never been recovered.
Right now, we're talking to Brian Busby, just getting some stories from him. Brian, whenever young broadcasters come up to you and they ask for advice, what is the advice that you give them?
Try to be as diverse as you can. Understand that you're probably going to be asked to cover a lot of different stories. See, I could not do what my colleagues in the newsroom do. I could not go to a mother who just lost their daughter in a horrific car crash and ask them how they feel. I can't put a microphone in that situation. I just tell them, if you are going to go to broadcasting, know that the industry is changing, that's for sure. Try to know enough about many different subjects as best you can, because you're probably going to be in a newsroom or an organization where they're going to have to rely on the differences that everybody has to offer. Because if we're all experts in one area, we're probably going to be kind of handicapped when it comes to covering different things and different activities and different subjects. I would also say, because of social media and the internet, definitely start doing as much as you can to understand social media and to understand how to responsibly put things online as opposed to some of the stuff. As a matter of fact, one of my buddies, Jim Cantori on the Weather Channel, he's celebrating his 39th year, at the 29th or 39th year at the Weather Channel. But there's this rumor going around that he's retiring because somebody has way too much time on their hands and have come up with a story via AI saying, yeah, Jim Cantori is retiring from the Weather Channel. No, he's not. So if you are going to go into broadcasting, know how to use social media as a constructive tool.
All I know is that whenever Jim shows up to your city, the weather's about to get real bad. That's all I've learned over the last couple of years. Jim only shows up when the weather is serious.
This is true, and I tell him about that. I text him and say, do you come into town? And he says, yes. I'm like, okay, well, I'll see you at, we go to the Majestic at the cigar bar up top because he loves his whiskey. So, but yeah, when he comes to town, you kind of go, okay, well, my forecast for storms is right. What do you know?
All right, Brian, we're going to get you out of here with some rapid fire questions and learning more about your career. This has really been a joy. All right, what was your first concert?
First concert?
First concert.
Wow. It was at the Kemper as Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was probably the first one.
What is your favorite Michael Jackson song?
Wow. Thriller.
All right. What is your favorite movie?
Wow. Because I'm a Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman fan, Crimson Tide. Just to see those two titans go at it was just amazing. One of my favorite movies.
I'll get you out of here with this. Rob, my producer, he always makes fun of me because I love the movie John Q. I don't know if there is a person alive that loves John Q more than me. That might be my favorite Denzel movie. That and Inside Man.
Okay. And don't forget Training Day, where he actually plays a villain. I mean, that was kind of cool. And was it American Gangster? Yeah, it was American Gangster, another Denzel movie. But anyway.
That was Brian Busby joining us on the show today. Brian, every year I want to nominate myself to turn on the Plaza Lights. Like, that's one of my biggest Kansas City goals. This year, I don't need to do it. You know what? I want you to turn on the Plaza Lights. If there's anybody in the city that has earned it, that has deserved it, to one day go out there and turn on the Plaza Lights, I nominate you, Brian Busby.
I appreciate that. I also want to try to play, since I play drums anyway, I'd love to be at Arrowhead. That'd be kind of cool. Or in the Cauldron, for that matter. That'd be kind of fun.
Brian,
thank you. That's very flattering.
You're telling me that you want to turn. You're telling me that you want to bang the drum. We need to make this happen for you. We need to figure out how we can get you to bang the drum at Arrowhead.
That'd be fun. I appreciate it. And you, my friend, have done very well. As once again, voted the last 2 years by the pitch? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm just Ryan. I'm just trying to be like you. You've had a long, great career. People like you inspire me, so I'm working to get to where you are.
Well, that's why I opened up by saying I need your Venmo, because you've been way too kind. We will definitely do it.
Absolutely. That is Brian Busby joining us on the show. Thanks, Brian.
My honor. Take care, buddy.
Absolutely. That is Brian Busby joining us on the show. You guys don't know, as a kid from Kansas City, that I could call Brian Busby a friend. It really makes me happy. Rob, this was one of the better ideas that we've had. Having news people on and just ask them questions about their life. I never knew that was Brian Busby's first concert. Did you know that? Had no clue. We're learning more about people. Who we got coming up next? At this point, you give me anybody. Where's Laura Moritz at? Where's Kelly Eckerman? We'll take anybody today to talk about the news. This is fun. This is The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Got a stall downtown, 70 eastbound, just past 11th Street is blocking the right lane. And near Overland Park, that's another stall, 35 southbound as you approach 75th in the right lane. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val. 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for a new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman. Only in theaters July 11th. DQ. Happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll get your stake back if they finish second. Log in today and make your picks with confidence with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Our iconic blue trucks and expert team get it right the first time. Award-winning full-service lawn care and pest control since 1985. Call today for a free estimate. Visit aspenlawn.com.
Hi, this is Megan, your friend and jeweler from Shane Company. Did you know not all warranties are created equal? At Shane Company, our free lifetime warranty is all-inclusive and even protects the diamond in your engagement ring. We can offer such an incredible warranty because our rings are crafted to last a lifetime. As your friend and jeweler, our gift to you is peace of mind. At Shane Company, we also cover unlimited repairs, resizings, and cleanings for free for life, saving you thousands over time. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified pre-owned vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months, plus a $200 gas card with purchase. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Imagine buying your next car from one dealership.
With the support of many.
With everything you'll ever need.
When you buy from any of the Balderson Auto Group dealerships, you're getting the support from all of our dealerships.
Like our 100 service bays, collision, and detail centers.
And our free exclusive lifetime warranty. No other auto group gives you that.
From north, central, south, the Balderson Auto Group has you covered.
A family committed to
excellence, growth,
and harmony.
Go to bagkc.com.
College days are back on the drive. Listen for K-State Day on Thursday, July 17th, starting at 2 o'clock on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Today, Rob and I had the idea to just interview people from the news, just to learn more about them. These are people that we see on television all the time, but we don't get a chance to know them, how they got their job, their likes, their dislikes, and we've decided to interview them. I'm very excited to be joined by Chris Ketz. He has been the person that has been giving us the news for basically my entire life. When you see Chris Ketz on television, you know you're going to get a great, solid broadcast, and you're going to be up to date on everything that's happening. Chris, it's an honor to have you join us on the show.
You are too kind, but if I may for just a moment, and I know this is ancient history to you, taking you back to your 2 o'clock hour, but I'm not sure if I had out-of-town visitors, friends, I don't know that I would have taken them to the Scout. I'm not saying that's a bad choice. In fact, I just had a couple of friends from Sonoma, California, in town not 2 weeks ago, and yeah, I don't know that I would have taken them to the Scout.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, you were listening. Now I'm curious, where would you take them? Because we did both views. So we did top of the Liberty Memorial, and then I also wanted them to see it from a different angle, so we went to the Scout. So whenever people come in from out of town, I'm sure this happens. What what activities are you trying to have them do?
I did the top of the World War I monument, which a great call. In addition to the museum, in addition to, you were talking about barbecue, and you ended up, I think, at Jack Stack on the Plaza. Again, great call. I ended up at Jack Stack in the Freight House District because it was close to Union Station and close to the museum there, across from Union Station. And I was, like you, figuring that the gas station, Joe's Kansas City, there was probably a long line, and it's hot outside, and I'm not sure I wanted to put my friends from Northern California in that sort of situation. But the one place that they wanted to see, that they really wanted to see, and they were in a hotel room in a small boutique hotel around the Art Institute. They wanted to see Arrowhead. not that they were necessarily football fans, but they are caught up in Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and by extension Taylor Swift. But they wanted to see Arrowhead, which I really found to be interesting. Now, they didn't necessarily want the tour, but they just wanted to see the structure, which, of course, was easy to do. You can just drive out there and driving through a gate and stop in the parking lot and let them out and just, they get out of the car and it just kind of took in the view. But I really found that fascinating. And these are two people that aren't necessarily football fans, okay? I think they follow the game. I don't think they're necessarily passionate about X's and O's or anything like that. But they wanted to see Arrowhead. And I found that interesting.
Right now, we're joined by Chris Ketz of Channel 9. We're learning more about the news broadcasters today. This has been a really fun exercise. So I'm on the website, and I see your bio. You joined Channel 9 July 4th of 1983. What has kept you in Kansas City this long? What has kept you in news this long? That's a long time to be doing the same thing at the same station.
This is from as early as I can remember. This is what I wanted to do. My father, as you probably saw in the bio, was a television news anchor up at the ABC station in the Quad Cities, specifically Moline, Illinois, for 35 years before he passed away in 1999. So I grew up in the business. My oldest son, Jonathan, who I think has been on your show once or twice before, if I'm not mistaken, who is a reporter at Fox 4 and just doing a great job. Jonathan's first television station out of the University of Missouri School of Journalism, which is the world's finest school of journalism. If you don't believe him, just ask him, they'll tell you. Jonathan's first job right out of the box was at my father's television station. So he walked into a building where the street in front of the station and the studio were named after his grandfather. So there was no pressure there whatsoever. But he spent 9 years there and had a wonderful time, loved it, met his wife, and now he and his wife and their 4 children are now 15 minutes away from where I live as opposed to 6 hours away. And so I am eternally grateful for that. But this is all I've ever wanted to do. And I ended up here by sheer luck. It's no more mysterious than that. The news director in the Quad Cities came to KMBC in early 1983, and for whatever reason, and we weren't talking to each other at the time that he left the television station in the Quad Cities, but for whatever reason, he got down here, and about a month after he got here, made a call to me and said, come on down. He made me an offer, and I seriously considered the offer, if for no other reason. I knew that I needed to get out of my father's shadow in the Quad Cities. And I was working at his television station at the time, okay? But I knew that if I was going to make a career out of this, I needed a place where nobody knew who my father was. Does that make sense? I just needed to sort of strike out on my own. And so I thought about the proposal and ended up accepting it. And it was, to this day, one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Right now, we're joined by Chris Ketz, learning more about his career. 2-part question here. Let's just start with this, and then we'll move to the second part of the question. What has been the biggest Kansas City story that you can remember? If you've been covering news in Kansas City since 1983, you've seen a lot of things. There was a big firefighter explosion. There was the Hyatt Regency. There have been a lot of major, major stories that have happened in the city. When you think back to your career, are there a couple that stand out of you realize in real time everybody in the city is focused in on this?
Well, for me, I think the pandemic, the COVID pandemic probably occupies position 1, 2, and 3 on that list. And not necessarily specific stories, but just the overall impact of the shutdowns and how people's lives were turned upside down and the implications of all of that, which continue today. People don't work at jobs the same way they did as they did before the pandemic. And I don't necessarily see that changing anytime soon, whether you agree or disagree. It's here, and I think it's here to stay. So I think the pandemic, by far, has been the biggest story that I've covered here in Kansas City. But I think along those same lines in terms of impact on the city, I think the fact that, listen, I never thought, and I'm sure you're the same way, I never thought in a million years I'd go to 1 Super Bowl, much less 4. And following the Kansas City Chiefs and this incredible ride that I think they're still in the middle of has been one of those stories that I think it brings the community together. I think there are tremendous impacts along those lines. And quite frankly, it's one of those stories that it's hard not to feel good about your favorite football team and achieving the kind of success that they have and the kind of success that I think is in their future. I don't think this ride is over by any stretch of the imagination. You're a better observer of that than I am. I'm a little bit out of my lane when it comes to sports, but I don't think this run is over yet.
No, I don't think it's over either. Kind of keeping with that same theme. I mean, you have seen almost every cycle of the Royals. Just starting in 1983, you're in the middle of the Royals being the talk of the city. They then win the World Series a couple years later. They go through a 15, 20-year downturn, and then in 14 and 15, they take us all on this magical run. You have seen every stage of Royals baseball.
I don't know that you're right, but and I'm going back to the parade and the rally outside Union Station after the 2015 World Series. I didn't know what 800,000 people in one place would look like, just being in the middle of it. Okay, that was a question that I found myself in the days before the parade. We knew the turnout was going to be big, and there were all kinds of estimates that there might be 1 million people there. Who knows how many people there were there that day? My guess is it's somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 800,000, maybe less, but whatever the number is, that's a tremendous amount of people in one place for one thing. And I was just filled with curiosity as to what that would look like. And of course, the only way that we really got a sense of just the enormity of the crowd was by, and not to toot his horn, but Johnny Rollins and News Chopper 9 that day. The first pictures, once the parade started and once the rally started and once the party started, those first pictures that we saw and the crowd going way up the hill to the National World War I Museum and Memorial. My goodness, one of Kansas City's best moments. And something that will stay with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, if I had to say, like if someone asked me, hey, what was the best day of your career? I would say it was the day of the parade. It was one of those things where just living in Kansas City, you never thought you would see one of your teams win a championship. I had really no understanding of what a championship parade was. And seeing how happy people were from basically the moment the sun came up until the moment the sun came down. And it just felt like a great conclusion to what those 2 years were. Just all of a sudden, the Royals were an okay team. Next thing you know, they pop up and they're in the playoffs. Next thing you know, they're in Game 7 of the World Series. They lose, but they're back the next season. It just felt like this incredible storybook run that had the perfect ending.
And now I think the Royals are at a bit of a crossroads in terms of their future. They're trying to figure out where the next new stadium is going to be. My money is still on the Washington Square Park side across from Crown Center, but I will preface that by saying, too, anybody, and Carrington, you know this, I think anybody who says that they know what the Royals and Chiefs will do when it comes to their new stadiums probably doesn't know, because I'm not sure at this point even the teams have 100% clarity on what the answer to that question is. I think they have a pretty good idea. I think the Royals have a pretty good idea that maybe Washington Square Park is where they want to end up. How to pay for that is still the open question. And I think for the Chiefs, and I could be wrong on this, I could be wrong on all of this, but if I were a betting man, I think it's probably 51-49 that they end up out by the Legends. But again, I wouldn't take that to the bank, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel that way, too. I do feel like the smart money is probably with them building a new stadium. One reason why I'm so passionate about the stadium issue on our show is there really hasn't been too many stories like this, at least not in my life, where, I mean, we're talking about the way that it shapes a community. You're taking it from one community, and we were talking about moving it to different parts of it. Whenever we had this conversation about the airport, it was going to move across the street. When we had this conversation about Sprint Center, it was just obvious that, hey, Kemper Arena is old. It's time for a new one, and I thought they had a really good way to pay for it. This is something that affects everybody that lives in the metro. It doesn't matter if you live in the city, in the suburbs. This is a really big decision for everybody.
And not only is it a real big decision for everybody, and I'm sure you're seeing and have seen evidence of this as well, just in your conversations with your listeners. I think the level of story fatigue right now is approaching an all-time high. I think this is a 3-year story. This is a 3-year-long story, and we still don't have a resolution, and probably won't have any sort of a resolution until maybe the end of the year, and that's if a lot of things happen to line up just right. The stars need to align just right for I think for the Chiefs and for the Royals to be comfortable with making a decision here. And I don't think they're there yet. I think the Chiefs may be a little bit closer to that finish line than maybe the Royals are, if for no other reason. And if you accept the scenario that the Royals are going to stay in Kansas City, Missouri, and the Chiefs are going to jump over to KCK, if you follow that scenario for just a moment, I think the Royals are still trying to figure out what the local funding component of this project is going to be. The state of Missouri has already stepped forward with an incentive plan to cover basically 50% of construction costs for the Royals and for the Chiefs for that matter. But that there's also this local funding element that is not in the Kansas Star Bonds proposal. And what that looks like, who's going to pay what, we still don't have answers to those questions yet, and I don't think the Royals have answers to those questions yet. I don't think people like Frank White and Quentin Lucas have answers, quite frankly, to those questions just as of yet. But they're certainly working on it, but they're not there yet.
Right now, we're talking to Chris Ketz of Channel 9. We have been catching up with newscasters just to learn a little bit more about their career and a little bit more about their life and get thoughts on some of the top stories in the city. Chris, in your career, how have you seen news change in the way that it's covered, in the way that it's discussed? How have you seen news change in your time?
I think social media, when it's all said and done, is going to be the big changer, the big change factor here. And when it comes to social media, it's good. There's some good. There's a lot of bad, I think, because I think people get caught up in social media, whether it's Facebook or TikTok or whatever, X, as their primary source of information. And I think whenever you put all of your eggs into one basket, when it comes to where you get your information, I think that's a dangerous place to be. And the fake stuff out there has gotten so good. I mean, it looks so legitimate to people that it's easy for them to fall into that trap. I think the thing for especially people of my generation is that they've never had to work this hard as a viewer. And they're not accustomed to that. And it's because in the old days, you flopped on the couch, you turned on the TV, and there was Walter Cronkite. And you were okay with that. And you didn't have to work real hard at consuming information back then, consuming media back then. It's a whole different ballgame now. And I know people of my generation have a really hard time thinking that they have to work at all when it comes to receiving their information, that they have to really work to try to figure out what is legitimate and what's not, what is a trusted source and what is not. For people of your generation and younger, it's probably different because you've grown up in this environment, but people like me have not. And so I think there's a constant struggle among viewers as to who they can trust and who they can't. And so I understand the struggle. I do, because even I find myself sometimes. I will see something on social media that, again, at first glance looks legit, but when you peel away the layers a little bit, you come to the realization that, oh man, this is really fake. It really looks good, but it's so far from the truth that it's not believable. But the danger comes in because it looks so good that people believe it. And I'll tell you, as any news organization, we have there's just so much of it out there. You can't get your arms around all of it. You just can't. And for somebody like me, that's a frustrating place to be.
I've never got a chance to ask a news broadcaster this question before. I mean, I remember exactly where I was on September 11th. I was in 8th grade. Mm-hmm. I remember who told me. I remember watching it on television. You're in the middle of it. I mean, you're a seasoned broadcaster at this point. You've been doing it for 20 years at that point. Take us through your 9/11, hearing about it, and then going on the news.
I heard about it basically from another radio host that morning. I happened to be taking one of my kids to school as it was happening, and I got a call. In fact, it was Randy Miller, and maybe many in your audience will remember Randy, who is still around. But Randy had a show over on one of the country stations, and his producer called out of the blue and asked, and I was unaware of what had happened. And I think in the rush to try to get some information about what was going on, they kind of threw me on the air, and I don't remember much about that interview other than the fact it didn't last very long because I didn't have much in the way of information to share. And then once I got home, got in front of a TV and saw the enormity of it all, and then it was time to go to work. And it was such a bizarre time because by the time I got into work, the airspace coast to coast had been shut down, and we're all trying to figure out on this end, okay, how do we cover this story, especially when you consider that all of the networks at that time, ABC News included, everybody was in wall-to-wall coverage, and we had no idea if or when they would offer local affiliates time to cover the story here in the community. And so it was a lot like working without a net, but like you often have to do in this business, you have to be nimble and be able to react fast, and I think that's what we did. And I think we did as good a job as we could have under the circumstances, but certainly not something you want to do again, I'll tell you that.
Right now, we're talking to Chris Ketz here for a couple more minutes. I'll get you out of here with some rapid fire questions. We have been asking this question to people. What was your first concert?
REO Speedwagon.
Where at?
It was in the Quad Cities, Davenport, Iowa.
So whenever you're riding around, what are you listening to? Are you listening to podcasts? Are you listening to talk radio? Are you listening to music? What is your, I'm driving to work, what are you listening to?
Could be all of the above. I listen to a lot of sports radio. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I just finished a 6-hour trip up to see my mom in the Quad Cities, and that 6 hours was filled with a lot of music and a lot of podcasts and a lot of sports talk from guys like you.
Tomorrow, if there was a karaoke contest where the winner got $1 million and you were like, you know what, I think I can try my hand at this. I think I can win this $1 million. What song would you sing for karaoke?
New York, New York.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. All right. Whenever you go get ice cream, what's your favorite ice cream? No, I'm sure you would do a great job. What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Mint chocolate chip.
Are you a ketchup or mustard person?
Mustard.
What is your favorite movie?
There's so many. Patton.
Do you have a comfort television show? Like for me, I normally watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Boy Meets World. Those are kind of my feel good, just an easy 30-minute watch. Do you have one of those?
The West Wing.
That's a good one. I've never seen that before. I remember Ned Yost said he loved that show.
You could. It's on HBO Max, and they had 8 or 9 seasons. And back when seasons were 25 to 30, 35 episodes, not like it is today. So,
those seasons,
it's really good stuff.
Yeah, and those seasons would happen quick. Now I feel like we got to wait 2 years to get 8 more episodes. Like, wait, what?
Exactly.
Why was there this big gap in the middle?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is the last question. So we had Brian Busby on the show earlier. I'm sure you know him very, very well over the years. He said that one of his goals is he wants to bang the drum at Arrowhead. I can't believe that this has not happened. If there's anybody that should be allowed to bang the drum at Arrowhead, it should be him. What do you have one of these kind of goals? Like, I eventually want to turn on the Plaza lights. Maybe I won't be the person that flicks the switch, but I at least want to be up there while somebody else does it. Do you have one of these goals?
I wouldn't mind banging the drum at Arrowhead, and I wouldn't mind throwing out a first pitch at Kauffman Stadium.
Okay. These are things, I mean, I've thrown out the first pitch at Kauffman Stadium. If I've done it, you certainly are eligible to do it.
You throwing out the first pitch, that makes complete sense to me.
You know what? Rob, let's reach out to Sam Mellinger and say that Chris Ketz wants to throw out the first pitch. Chris, if there's one thing I know we can at least talk to the person that can nominate you to at least throw out the first pitch. This has to happen.
Well, if you do, tell Sam I said hi.
We will do that. That is Chris Ketz joining us on the show today with Channel 9, just talking about his life and his career. Chris, it truly is an honor to have you join us today. Really appreciate your time.
I'm a big fan of what you guys do. Keep up the great work.
Absolutely. That is Chris Ketz joining us on the show today. I enjoyed that conversation. I really did. Rob, you did a good job today. Back-to-back Brian Busby and Chris Ketz. You really earned your paycheck today. You really did some phenomenal work. Now, I'm sure you're going to undo it at some point because you're going to say some nonsense, but you really did some fine work today. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Summer is here, and that means longer days and warm nights, rooftop dinners, spontaneous getaways, vacation season, and romance is in the air. But if you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, all that excitement, it can feel like pressure and like you're missing out on something. Well, look, you're not alone. And more importantly, there's help that's out there, especially with my friends over at Heartland Men's Health. They specialize in ED treatments that work even when the pills and the herbals don't, with a success rate of over 90%. Some guys even last an hour or more. Summer should feel unforgettable, romantic, confident, not stressful. If your sex life is just good enough, then why should you settle? Your first visit is just $99, including a full medical consult, testosterone, and a PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. Visit the website, heartlandmenshealth.com. With offices in Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City, you can get back in action as soon as tomorrow. Don't let ED steal your summer away. Reclaim it, and you can do that with Heartland Men's Health.
At KCUC, you see the best in KC. As the region's premier urology and oncology center, KCUC stands out for 3 reasons. 1, experience. With 50-plus providers, you're seen faster when you need it. 2, convenience. 25-plus offices means care close to home to make each visit easy. 3, technology. We offer the most advanced treatments available. You deserve the best. Why go anywhere else? Trust Kansas City's largest, most experienced and advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Give me those sauces, grab the chicken strips, let's dunk them in there. There's nothing like it. Hey, I'm Joey. And I'm Josh. And we're team members at our local Chick-fil-A. And a little thing you'll love about the Chick-fil-A chicken strips is dipping them in our sauces. My sauce is the barbecue sauce. If you wanted to add sweet, tangy flavors, there's nothing like it. I love the garden herb ranch sauce, but if you want a little bit more kick in the spicy side, you can mix it with buffalo sauce. Dipping them in our sauces, it is perfection.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Team members paid for their testimonials.
Ugh. Kitchen ants, runaway roaches, a spider. A spider! A spider! Relax. Just use Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Zevo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo. People friendly, bug deadly.
Rawhide Harley sales event is happening now. Save up to $5,000 on new 2023 Harleys. Rawhide Harley needs to make room for more bikes. Save up to $5,000 on a new 2023 Harley at Rawhide Harley.
See dealer for details. Hidden amounts differ by 2023 models available.
Ring the bell. We've done it again. Golden Oak Lending has lowered rates to 4.875 fixed. Lower your monthly payment, get cash out, pay off credit cards, and best of all, make no mortgage payments for 2 months. Lock in this incredible 4.875 rate and get your cash in as little as 14 days. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending, cured my blues.
5.81 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Give me those sauces, grab the chicken strips, let's dunk them in there. There's nothing like it. Hey, I'm Joey. And I'm Josh. And we're team members at our local Chick-fil-A. And a little thing you'll love about the Chick-fil-A chicken strips is dipping them in our sauces. My sauce is the barbecue sauce. If you wanted to add sweet, tangy flavors, there's nothing like it. I love the garden herb ranch sauce, but if you want a little bit more kick in the spicy side, you can mix it with buffalo sauce. Dipping them in our sauces, it is perfection.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Team members paid for their testimonials.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Got a new wreck, 70 eastbound at 18th Street Expressway. The left lane is blocked. Down south, you've got 435 eastbound before 470 eastbound 49 there southbound, the right lane blocked. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val. 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
I want to say a special thanks to Brian Busby for stopping by the show. Also, Chris Ketz stopping on the show. I think we might have another news person or two. Really enjoyed this exercise, learning more about the people that we see on television. Some of these people we have seen on television basically our entire life. Chris Ketz has been on the news in Kansas City since 1983. I was born in 88, so my entire life. Brian Busby started in 85, so I mean, these people have just been very important figures in our life, so happy to learn more about them as we've been going through this. I thought that Chris Ketz made a really good point, and that's why he's the news broadcaster that he is. He talked about stadium issue fatigue, and we see this too, Rob, all the time. I do think the general public is just ready for the Chiefs and the Royals to make a decision. Here's what Chris Ketz had to say.
I think the level of story fatigue right now is approaching an all-time high. I think this is a 3-year story. This is a 3-year-long story, and we still don't have a resolution, and probably won't have any sort of a resolution until maybe the end of the year. And that's if a lot of things happen to line up just right. The stars need to align just right for I think for the Chiefs and for the Royals to be comfortable with making a decision here. And I don't think they're there yet. I think the Chiefs may be a little bit closer to that finish line than maybe the Royals are.
There's no question in my mind that fatigue on this issue has started to happen. I feel like it's happened for quite some time. Rob, you know my stance when it comes to PR. It's a very, very simple stance. However bad it is for you, if you just sit and you wait 2 to 3 days, people will be over your story. You just got to ride out the 48-hour, 72-hour. Like, I'm not here to stand on my soapbox, but this is why I don't really believe in cancel culture. We just move on from things very, very quick. So, yes, you might have upset people on Monday. If you just sit down and be quiet, you can come back. Remember when Shannon Sharpe was the biggest story and we all were making fun and laughing at him? Shannon Sharpe will be back on television. He'll settle with this individual. He'll be back on television. He will just continue to go on with his life. You just got to ride out the PR. How I think that applies to this is if you're over a story, a general story, in 2, 3, maybe 4 days. Stories don't last a week anymore. Somebody shot at the president of the United States. We were done talking about it 2, 3 days later. Hey, he's all right. Let's move on. We've been talking about this one story for 2, 3 years, and there's not really any news or update to the story. We still have no clue where the Royals are going to be. Like, I come on here sometime to act like I know what I'm talking about. Man, I don't know where the Royals are going. I mean, I hear some things I can tell you, some things I can't tell you. I can't come on here with any level of hey, the Royals are going to do this. Man, I don't know. I've been told the Royals, it doesn't make sense for them to move to Kansas. Then they're contemplating going to Kansas. I've been told this by this person who seems to know what they're talking about. Then the Royals say that they're doing something different. At this point, we all are just sitting waiting for them to make a decision. And I think what makes the story so frustrating is, A, we don't know why it's taking so long. B, we also just don't know what more information they're trying to get. I think what Chris said makes a lot of sense. Hey, the Royals are trying to figure out how they're going to pay for all of this. They're trying to figure out how much Missouri can pay for, how much Jackson County can pay for. That all makes sense. Well, then announce where you want to be, and then, hey, we'll figure out where the money is, and we'll work together to come up with a plan. But that's not really how this is playing itself out. I also agree. I don't think we're done. I think some of the stadium issue is kicking up because it's the summer, and it's just, there's not a lot of news happening. I'm not telling you something you don't know. The Royals are under 500. There's no Chiefs news going on. We're still probably a month away from college football news. Like, this is just a slow period. We all got to talk about something. They're not going on the news to tell you nothing. They got to come up with something. I can't just come here for 20 hours and be like, no, I got to figure out something. The only thing happening is the stadium. So I think that's some of it. And I think the stadium news will die down in a couple of weeks once other things are happening. Once we're at training camp, you guys don't want to hear about this anymore unless something is happening. Once the Chiefs start playing preseason games and getting ready for it, once college football starts, the games will eventually happen. So I do think that's a big reason, but there's no question with what he just said. There is absolutely fatigue when it comes to this issue, talking about this issue, and I think all parties, everybody, me, you, everybody just simply wants some kind of resolution to figure out what the future looks like for the Chiefs and Royals.
This is a semantics point by me, and that's fine. I feel like what has happened, and I don't know if it's social media, I don't know if it's because it's a dead period, or it's because of the enormity of the story, but I feel like with the stadium future, we get very caught up in the minutia, and I think fans are getting tired of seeing how the sausage is made, to mix metaphors there. We get stories like, and we do full shows on it, and I'll defend our show, but we do full shows on the Royals buy land in Kansas. We did 4 hours on that. Hey, the Star Bonds are getting extended in Kansas. We did 4 hours on that. Hey, the Chiefs sent a letter. They're still considering Kansas. We did 4 hours on that. Hey, this bill passed in the House and the state legislature for the state of Missouri. We did 4 hours on that. Hey, the Chiefs, there's this rendering now. We're going to do multiple hours on that. Friday on this show, me and you did 2 hours on, hey, North Kansas City has asked for a term sheet. They got one. They're still a candidate to get the teams. What does that mean? I think the enormity of the story is why we cover it so big, but I think the things we are covering are small. And at a certain point, Joe Fan, who sits in 209 for Royals games or 324 for Chiefs games, they don't care about how the sausage is made. They don't care about the Royals buying land. They don't care. They just want to know where and when it will be open. And I think that's a product of the vote happened, the vote went the way it did, and now every morsel of information we get feels like, oh, we got to talk about it. And I think we do, because this might be the biggest thing to happen to our community in me and you's lives, Carrington, but it's the stories we're covering are not the future of the teams, like here's what they're going to be. It's John Sherman and co. secretly buy some land on 119th and Knoll, which is just different than the future of the teams.
I know you guys might not believe this, but I'm actually excited about the World Cup and plan on attending the World Cup. So I've been keeping an eye open on when I can get access to single game tickets. Again, I want to go. There's a lot of things I usually can, an email or a phone call. We're talking about this is the World Cup. So I'm assuming I got to pay for these. So I signed up for the little FIFA email and been, keeping an eye out. So this morning I got an email. I imagine many of you also got the same email. Said single game tickets are on sale. I got excited. I was like, man, I'm ready. I'm locked in. Lock me in. I'm ready to pay for my World Cup tickets. I'm going to all the games. I didn't know that these were the premiums. I thought we've already been selling the premiums. No, we got more premium tickets that are available. I was so excited, I sent Rob the link because I hadn't looked at it yet. Hey, Rob, single game tickets. I know you want to go. I thought I was doing my brother a favor when I sent it to him. Then I clicked on the link. Rob, did you actually click on the link eventually? Did you see the price? Now, these are the hospitality seats. These are the expensive seats. It was $1,700 a game. I was thinking, no. I don't like soccer this much. No, not at all. I don't like soccer this much. Not even a little bit. Rob, when do they start selling the regular tickets? I don't need your little access to your VIP lounge. I don't need the all you can eat, all you can drink seats. I don't need any of that. I'll buy my own food. I'll buy my own beer at the game. Rob, do we know when the regular tickets go on sale? You're telling me right now there are people that are spending $1,800 or more a ticket for the World Cup without knowing exactly where the seats are going to be, and we also don't know who the teams are? People are doing that right now? These have to be for companies. Like, there are not average people, regular people among us that are buying these tickets. You can't be buying these tickets right now.
My guess is that they are for companies, but FIFA ain't turning down money. So if you want to outbid Budweiser for a pack of tickets in 105, they ain't going to turn you down from outbidding Budweiser. You'll probably lose that bidding war, but they'll let you have the opportunity. I'm going to wait until I know some teams, and then I'm going to head to my local StubHub. And that's how I'm going to find my way into games, because these $8,000 and you get 5 of the 6 games, it's just that's even too much for me.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this World Cup, man. I just want to go to 1 or 2 games, man. I don't need to go to all of them. I know I'm not that big. I'm really just going. It's kind of one of those things. I'm just going to say that I went. You know, I can admit that. Sometimes I do that from time to time. Oh, you go to, yeah, I went. You know, it's kind of, light flex. You know how people are. But you think I'm spending $1,800 to watch Morocco against? No chance. I will be watching that at the house is where I'll be watching that. We need the regular price tickets. That's what we need. We need the regular. Just charge me $200. I'll happily spend that. Give me the $200 a ticket. I will be in attendance for that. But much more than that, I don't know if I'm that interested in watching the World Cup. Not with the countries we could get. Coming up on the other side, tonight is the MLB Home Run Derby. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
This man was a bona fide scrub.
On 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Brought to you by Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control has been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer. Schedule your AC system tune-up for just $59. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Don't let clogged drains slow you down. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews ensures your peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
What we love about our ability to help patients at QC Kinetics is seeing their pure delight at finally being able to do the things they enjoy without pain.
I had a patient start treatment with me. He wanted to be able to be active again and do some of his sports that he really enjoyed.
Dr. Ashley Caravelli, a medical director for QC Kinetics, treats patients with chronic joint pain using their body's own biologics. The goal? Get them back to living their best lives without surgery or harmful drugs.
He came back and he goes, what I wasn't expecting was the ability to play on the floor with my grandchildren. Even just saying it now, I have goosebumps because it's changing those small moments that you take for granted.
Don't let joint pain rob you of those moments. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
It just warms my heart to be able to help people live the life they want to live and get those small moments back.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Westbound I-70 approaching Prospect, the two right lanes are blocked by emergency vehicles. Eastbound 70 between East 27th and 23rd Streets, they'll be closing lanes soon for overnight road work. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
I understand the slippery slope of artificial intelligence. I understand why we don't want people just using other people's likeness. Like, I get it, right? I'm not here to argue that. If there was one person that I would be very much for, can we preserve their voice? It would be Chris Berman. When I think of NFL highlights, I think of Chris Berman. I love Chris Berman on NFL primetime. I wish from now until the day that I die, I wish that Chris Berman and his voice and his creativity, I wish that he could read the highlights to me and commentate them and offer up his opinion. Whoops! Curtis, my favorite, Martin, rumbling, stumbling. I could just listen to Chris Berman every Sunday, tell me exactly. I've already seen these highlights. I already know what's going to happen. I've already watched this game. It's just better when you do it. I tell you guys all the time that YouTube is my favorite channel, and sometimes I go on rabbit holes. Well, lately I have been on an NFL primetime rabbit hole because I am watching Playmakers. I never saw the show Playmakers when it came out. That was kind of one of those shows where your parents were like, you're not watching that show. And Rob, I found it in HD on YouTube. So I'm watching Playmakers, just never seen it, very interested. And you know, once you're in a certain algorithm, it kind of keeps you there. So I've been watching like old episodes of Street Ball that used to come on ESPN2, and then it'll just randomly come up where it'll be NFL Prime. It'll be a Chiefs-Broncos game from 2003, and you can hear the commentary from Tom Jackson and Chris Berman. As much as I love NFL Primetime Chris Berman, I'm so happy we got rid of this version.
Way back! Way back! Back, 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 way back.
There's no broadcaster I love less than Home Run Derby Chris Berman. The way that some of you feel about Stephen A. Smith, the way that some of you feel about Skip Bayless, that's how I feel about this.
Way back! Way back! Back, 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 back,
I never, ever want to hear that again during a home run derby. I'm so happy that's out. I'm so happy that's past us. You guys know I'm nostalgic about a lot of things from back in the day. I think we all are. I don't have any interest in ever hearing Chris Berman do the home run derby again. Please don't. Please stay away from us. The other thing I want to share for you is that I'm actually very envious of the home run derby. I'm very envious because they get everybody to do it every year. The same people don't do it all the time. Like, I don't need Aaron Judge to do it every single year. Aaron Judge has said, if they put the home run derby at Yankee Stadium, he said, I will do it. He's already done it once. I don't need to do it again. If you guys put the All-Star game at Yankee Stadium, I will do it in front of the hometown fans. That's great. Shohei has done it before. Anybody that you think can hit home runs in baseball has signed up to do it at least one time. Some of them multiple times. They've gotten Shohei Ohtani to do it. They've gotten Aaron Judge to do it. Back when you and I were coming up, I mean, everybody, Sosa, McGuire, Griffey, everybody has done it. That's how the dunk contest used to be. They would get everybody you wanted to see do the dunk contest until one person decided, I'm too cool to do the dunk contest. That's part of LeBron's legacy to me. I don't necessarily care about him changing teams. You're a free agent. You're allowed to go whatever team you want to be on. That's the point of free agency. The point is your contract expired. Go do what you want to do. LeBron has never forced a trade. He's never left. You can do whatever you want. LeBron's legacy to me is it was obvious everybody wanted you to do the dunk contest. It's your time. You're the next superstar. Jordan had done it. Everybody before you that was the high-flying dunker of their time signed up to do the dunk contest. LeBron, it was your turn. And you told us, there's a video, I've seen it. I'm going to do the dunk contest next year. Oh, okay, good, exciting. Once LeBron said, I'm too cool for the dunk contest, it made it cool for everybody else to say that. There was a year Andrew Wiggins wouldn't do it, and the dunk contest was in Toronto. What are we doing here? It's in your hometown. You're too good to do the dunk contest now, Andrew Wiggins? So I'm honestly, I'm jealous. I'm envious of the home run derby. They get every superstar. Kyle Rowley this year, catcher for Seattle. Hey, we want you to do it. Yeah, sure, of course. Last year, Bobby Witt Jr. You don't have to do the dunk contest every single year. Every year, Vince Carter did it one time. We didn't need Vince to do it 17 times. No, you went in there, you did your best 3 dunks. It was iconic. Thank you. Every year, though, we can't even get 4 NBA guys to want to do the dunk contest. We got to go to the G League. We're a couple years away from them getting random people off YouTube. I'm serious. We're a couple of years away that they're going to find some basketball influencer, and he's going to go up against one fringe NBA player. That's where we are. The NBA players are just too cool to do this. They're too cool. I don't know why. They get everybody to do the three-point contest. Clay's done it. Steph's done it. The guys that shoot threes are willing to do the three-point contest. For whatever reason, they don't want to dunk. They don't want to work. They don't want to jump. They don't want to do any of those things, Rob, and it upsets me. So, yeah, I'm hating a little bit. It makes me upset.
I mean, it should. Listen, I love LeBron James. You love LeBron James, but you said it perfectly. This is LeBron James' fault.
It is.
100%. Because before LeBron James, now, not every superstar did it, but the people that we viewed as the best dunkers wanted to show they were the best dunkers.
100%.
We had Jason Richardson doing cool stuff. We had Vince Carter. And a little bit after LeBron, we had a few people that still signed up to do it. I feel like Nate Robinson, it was like a Spud Webb type of energy. Dwight Howard, the opposite of that. It was kind of cool. Blake Griffin did it.
I actually feel like Blake Griffin was the last person that everybody wanted to see do the dunk contest that actually agreed to do it.
And then since Blake Griffin did it,
which was like a decade ago now,
it's like every person realized, oh, I'm not going to be better than that, so I'm done.
They can't they honestly can't even get 4 people to do it. I'm serious. They can't even get 4 people.
The reigning champion is a G Leaguer.
Yeah, like
he's back-to-back champion.
We can't find 4 guys to do this. Someone on the text line says, "C-Dot, I don't have the answer to this. Did Kobe do it?" Kobe actually has done the dunk contest. He did it one time. He actually won the dunk contest the one year that Kobe decided to do it. I think it was 98 Kobe did it, maybe 99. It was one of those 2 years. I know for a fact Kobe has done the dunk contest before. But yeah, that's it. I just want those guys to do the dunk contest. And all the reasons I get I hate about NBA players. We always got to think of ways to give them more money to get them to do stuff. Like, wait, we got to give you more money to play in regular season games. You need more money to compete in the All-Star game. You need more money to do the dunk contest. What's happening? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander makes $75 million a year. You need more money to go to work? What are you talking about? Do the dunk contest one time. How hard is this? Try hard in the All-Star game for 20 minutes. It annoys the hell out of me. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Makes me sick. Coming up at the top of the hour, there is a quarterback list that is out. ESPN ranked the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Oh, it's arguing time. We'll get to it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Hey, it's Lucas Ursig from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Westbound I-70 approaching Prospect, the two right lanes are blocked by emergency vehicles. Eastbound 70 between East 27th and 23rd Streets, they'll be closing lanes soon for overnight road work. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Hey, it's Gold, and Circa Millions and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million, pick 5 games against the spread each week, 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no point spread, last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
We're going to draw one name of a person that sold their car to GiveMeTheVin.com and give them $25,000.
Wow. Give Me The Vin is giving away $25,000 in cash every month.
Could you imagine being that person? Wouldn't that feel great?
That would be awesome.
Well, honey, you won.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Heather Krager of Dallas, Texas won $25,000 and Give Me The Vin's big cash giveaway.
That's so cool.
You could be next to get a little more, maybe a lot more.
I guess that old Mercedes was worth more than I thought.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. New Harley-Davidson Street Glides under $265 a month at Rawhide Harley. Ride out for under $265 a month on a new Street Glide at Rawhide Harley-Davidson.
Payments based on Street Glide model and base color with 30% down, 96-month term, 6.99% APR with approved credit. Doesn't include brake setup, tax, title, and license fees. See dealer for details.
If you're looking for that new career path, have you thought about IT? Think about IT. It's needed in every single industry, whether it's sports, healthcare, construction, manufacturing, you name it, and Centric can help you get there.
No better time in the city either. The KC Tech Council reported that there were 3,000 jobs added in IT in March alone. 3,000.
We've told you about our friend Russ Mondry and his expertise in this field. Over 16 years at Centric. He's going to help you find that career path. So go to Centric.com.
Call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Our iconic blue trucks and expert team get it right the first time. Award-winning full-service lawn care and pest control since 1985. Call today for a free estimate. Visit aspenlawn.com.
This summer, Cody and Gold will be live in St. Joe on the Chiefs practice field as the defending AFC champions set their sights on another Super Bowl run. Real-time updates as practice is going on. Live press conferences with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Plus, exclusive one-on-one player interviews. This summer, tune in weekdays starting at 10 to Cody and Gold, live from Chiefs training camp on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. But what if you could bank that equity right now? With TrueHold, you could sell your home for its current value so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. TrueHold even covers property taxes, insurance, and and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9393 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Hey, it's Alex Gold, and since I'm the single guy here at the station, yeah, I know.
Wow, how surprising.
They're having me read this promo about Instagram. You probably didn't even know we had an Instagram, right?
Hello, Instagram followers.
But now you do. So do me a favor and go follow us at The Fan 96.5. Win tickets, get behind-the-scenes content from the station. Plus, watch videos like Chiefs Take Tuesday and Best Bets on Sundays.
100%.
You're listening to your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
This is the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Royals baseball. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive on 96.5 The Fan. I have to call an audible. We are going to get to the quarterback list. We'll talk about Trey Smith. There has been no developments. The Royals are 47-50. For the most part, you guys know the news. But this is very important. I just saw this. Rob, did you know that Frank Clark got married this weekend? It's your job to tell me this important information. Congratulations to Frank Clark. He and his new wife, I'm sure they're somewhere on an amazing honeymoon. Congratulations to Frank Clark. The only reason why I'm mad at you for not telling me this is we would have been playing this once an hour.
Past 2 games, and each game 70 yards, over 200 yards each game. I know damn well we weren't going to win the game if we let that happen. They come in here, he ran for 70 yards. They call him the best rusher in the league. We're sending this home early.
I posted the comments that you said to me, and all over social media, everybody said you better watch your back, that you're saying things that you can't cash. Everybody on social media saying,
they must not know who I am yet. They're going to find out sooner or later when I got that ring on my finger. At the end of the day, we champions. AFC. That trophy that got my own and last name on it, that KC. That KC. Ain't no fall off. Last year, jump off sides, all that. I told him when I got here, the gonna change. Look at the we're the best.
Go Jordan.
That audio, it gets me every time. It's so good. They hadn't even won the Super Bowl yet. You just knew when you heard that promo, oh, they're beating whoever they're playing. We didn't even know yet they're going to win that game. I don't know who they're playing, but they're going to beat them.
My favorite part is James Paul at the end. All right, go enjoy it.
You know what to say. What do you say after that? Who said that? I still don't know who said it. I'm confused. I'm still trying to figure out the person who said that, Frank. Congratulations to you and your wife. You just got married over the weekend. All right, this is what I would like to do. This is how I would like to spend a good part of this segment. You know that we love to argue about lists. Oh, there's nothing that makes me happier on this show other than bothering Rob with running backs or occasionally getting a dig in at Kansas to tell you guys about a list. So ESPN, they do a position group every day for like a, 11, 12-day stretch or whatever. So today was quarterbacks. These are NFL executives, coaches, and scouts. This is how they have it ranked. I'm going to go from 10 to 1. Number 10, Baker Mayfield. Number 9, Jalen Hurts. Number 8, Jared Goff. Number 7, Justin Herbert. 6, Matthew Stafford. Now from 5 to 1, Jaden Daniels at 5, Lamar at 4, Joe Burrow at 3, Josh Allen at 2, Patrick Mahomes at 1. That's who they have as the top 10 quarterbacks currently in the league. Now, a couple of things. I'm not mad that Jaden Daniels is number 5. I just wouldn't have put him at number 5. I would have put Jared Goff. If I was an NFL exec, coach, or scout, and they handed me that sheet of paper and told me to rank him, I would have put Jared Goff at number 5. I think he's done it for a decent enough sample. He's had success in this league, taking 2 teams deep in the playoffs, took 1 team to a Super Bowl, took another team to an NFC championship game, was in the MVP conversation late last year. I think that Jared Goff is the 5th best quarterback in the league. I'm not mad at Jaden Daniels, but that's what I would have done. This is the thing that upsets me the most. Can anybody explain to me why Justin Herbert is number 7 on this list? I don't get it. Justin Herbert is the least accomplished out of his peers. Yes, he puts up very good fantasy football numbers. If you're looking for a daily fantasy quarterback, or you're looking to draft a quarterback in the 8th round, I don't know when you draft quarterbacks in fantasy. I don't play it. But I'm assuming Justin Herbert is a really good player to pick. I am. I'm certain that he's a good player to do it. Every one of his peers have done something in the league. Oh, well, Lamar's never won anything. I mean, he's won 2 MVPs and taken a team to the playoffs, AFC Championship game. Josh Allen's won an MVP. Baker Mayfield's taken 2 different teams to the playoffs, won games with both of them. Baker Mayfield won a playoff game with the Cleveland Browns. He won a Heisman Trophy. Like, every one of his peers have accomplished something other than Justin Herbert. He puts up really cool Madden numbers is what he does. That's what he does. If you're looking for somebody to throw for 4,200 yards and 30 touchdowns, but you want to lose in the first round, then go get Justin Herbert. You know who he is? He's a guy that puts up a lot of points for the New Orleans Pelicans. That's who he is. He averages 24 points a game for the New Orleans Pelicans. They're not going to be in the play-in. They're not going to make any noise. He just puts up a lot of empty buckets. That's what Justin Herbert has done so far in his career. And as I was starting to read this, it honestly made me kind of mad. Justin Herbert's immense talent keeps him in the top 7, but hasn't yet vaulted him to the first tier of quarterbacks despite elite production. Quote, he's always been a top 5 to top 8 quarterback, accurate at all levels, athletic, sound decision maker. Hold on. Sound decision maker. He threw 4 interceptions in their last playoff game. Sound decision maker. Win. Quote, it's almost like he's underrated now, in my opinion. He's getting taken for granted. What are we? Okay. Elite production. He's never got his team to win the division. He's never won a playoff game. Elite production? Stop it. What's the argument for putting Justin Herbert 7th on this list? What's the argument for putting him ahead of Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, and Baker Mayfield? Explain to me how Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than any one of those 3 individuals based on the information that we have right now. I'm not even mad at Jaden Daniels being number 5. That's not what I would have done, but I'm not mad at it. You got to explain to me how Herbert's still a top 10 quarterback in the league. You got to explain it to me. You got to. Because, again, everybody else in this top 10, they've done something. Even Jaden Daniels. He just took his team to the NFC Championship game. They won double-digit games this past year. He won Rookie of the Year. Jaden Daniels has done something in a short period of time. Stafford's done something. Goff. What has Justin Herbert done other than have nice hair? He didn't do nothing in college. He's done nothing in the NFL. I'm sick of it. I'm not doing this anymore.
I'm not going to defend Justin Herbert. I would guess, and this is a guess, not a defense of Justin Herbert, because you know how the text line gets. Oh, Rob said this. He was defending. Just as a guess on the people that had Justin Herbert at 7, is that he has all the physical tools where a person like Baker or Jared Goff doesn't.
He looks the part.
Correct.
Is that what we're saying? He looks the part.
I would imagine if you were polling executives, a little part of the equation for them, the people whose job it is to draft players, which part of that equation is how they look, I would imagine looking the part is part of the story for those execs. I don't believe that should be a thing, but I'm imagining it carries a lot of weight because getting off the bus, Justin Herbert has the physical stature, and even in warm-ups, hucking the ball around, he has the ability, he has the look of a dude who's just special at quarterback. And then the clock starts, and he's fine in the regular season, and then the clock starts in the postseason, he can't do it. But that's my guess on why NFL executives on this list would have him in their top 10. That's my guess.
Empty buckets. Yes, he looks the part. He's 6'6", 240. He puts up nice numbers in the regular season. It looks good. I agree. If it's 3rd and 7 and your team needs to convert this first down, you think Justin Herbert gets you down the field? Because in his 2 playoff opportunities, his team blew a incredible lead The next year, he played his worst game of the postseason, or his worst game of the season in the postseason. I hate when certain quarterbacks, we make all the excuses in the world for why they're not good. We do that same thing with Trevor Lawrence, too. Well, I mean, that first year, look at who we had as his head coach. Then he had this guy, and then they didn't get him enough weapons. We fall over ourselves to defend them. We're starting to do that same thing with Justin Herbert, too. If you were telling me that he has had elite production, then how has he not been able to elevate his team? Tell me how. When I've seen C.J. Stroud, who doesn't have the infrastructure, doesn't have the head coach, doesn't have all of these things, he's taken his team to the playoffs in back-to-back seasons and won a game in back-to-back seasons. How has he been able to do it? We're talking about a quarterback now heading into year 6, now heading into 28 years old. He doesn't have a single playoff win. Not a one. We're talking about some guys don't get their team to the Super Bowl. He doesn't have a wild card win. He can't be in my top 10. I don't care. I don't want him. Get away from me. I can't vote for him. That's all I want to talk about with that list. It upset me when I saw it. Justin Herbert, he has fooled me enough. You guys call me Chargers Dot, and I get why you call me Chargers Dot, and I'm trying to distance myself from that because I don't want to be associated with Justin Herbert anymore. He's cost me too many times. He's got me laughed at for years now, and I'm sick of it. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want nothing to do with him. He's been fooling us for years. He's 3 games over 500 as a quarterback with no playoff wins and no memories to speak of. Keep him away from me. One thing I want to play for you guys, 2 things actually I want to play for you guys related to this. One is Kevin Clark. He was asked, is the gap closing between Patrick Mahomes and the other quarterbacks in the NFL? Here's what he said.
But here's the deal. The gap is closing because the reason Mahomes was one of the best passers we've ever seen when he came into the league was the deep ball. And how many times you'd take those screen grabs and you'd say, hey, this play where Patrick Mahomes has 3 guys around him, he's going to roll to his right and hit Tyreek Hill for a 45-yard touchdown. Or he's going to find Travis Kelce who's sitting down in the zone for a 35-yard gain. That has not happened the last couple of years. Why? The answer is a little bit of everything. Offensive line has gotten worse. The chemistry down the field has gotten worse. But here's the deal. It has to get better this year. 4 straight years. His completion percentage on deep balls over 20 yards has gone down. It was 47% in 2021. It's now under 30%. Average depth of target is the lowest in the league over the past 2 years. That should not be happening. He should not have a worse deep ball, and I've said it a million times, just statistically, than Daniel Jones and Cooper Rush. It shouldn't be happening anywhere. There should be no excuses for that. That's not necessarily on Patrick Mahomes, although some of them are just misses down the field. Some of it's just Xavier Worthy walking out of bounds against the Buffalo Bills. Someone's got to figure out how to bring this all together. Maybe Josh Simmons, the first-round tackle, if he's healthy at Ohio State, maybe he's the piece there where he gets you a couple more seconds there in the backfield. Mahomes has to get more comfortable. The receivers have to get more comfortable downfield. But that is the reason the gap is closing, not closed, with the rest of those guys, Allen, Jackson, obviously, and Burrow.
To a certain extent, I understand that. I think those are very valid points. I think those are all good. You guys know my stance on this, and you're allowed to disagree. The regression that I think people are noticing with Mahomes, to me, is much more about the pieces and parts than the player. If we are going back to when the Mahomes deep ball was dangerous, they had Tyreek Hill. So you combined Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, yeah, the deep ball was open. Yeah, it was incredible. And then we got Travis Kelce in the middle of the field. It was really hard to defend Kansas City. Last season, it wasn't super hard to defend the Chiefs in week 6. You have an aging Travis Kelce. The Chiefs really couldn't run the ball very well last year. Xavier Worthy was still in the middle of figuring things out. I don't know who you're supposed to have these deep, explosive plays with. If we looked it up and we were like, hey, who are the best deep ball players, best deep ball quarterbacks in the league? I'm guessing when we find the stats, it's going to be they have A.J. Brown as their deep threat. They got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase as their deep threat. Because explosive plays are usually generated by explosive players. So this season, I am excited. If we're looking at the Chiefs offense to get back to what it was back in the day, can you get a healthy Rashee Rice? And if you can combine a healthy Rashee Rice with a healthy Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown is in the middle, and you can throw that speed and versatility at people, I think you open things up downfield with the deep ball. This really isn't that hard to figure out. Teams defend the Chiefs very differently now because the Chiefs don't really have a lot of dynamic weapons that can beat you on offense. They didn't last year. Like, Xavier Worthy wasn't really a dynamic player until week 12, week 13. You don't get explosive plays from Travis Kelce anymore. I know you guys get mad when I say that. The numbers suggested you don't get explosive plays from Travis Kelce anymore. You might can get a first down. You're not getting an explosive play from Travis Kelce anymore. So to me, that gap is closing because I think the parts are around him are worse. And if Rashee Rice develops to be a legitimate number one top 12 receiver in the league, I think you'll see a lot of that explosiveness come back to the offense because you've given him a high impact weapon to throw the ball to. Last cut related to this I want to play. This is Dan Orlowski. He was on there talking about Jalen Hurts and where he would rank him on this list.
The most dependent position in sports. And then there's also some places that are so good that it does force you to ask, all right, because I think there's two levels.
Because that's the Hurts thing.
Absolutely. I think there's two 100%. Levels of, as a quarterback, 100%. When our roster or our play caller or our scheme is average to below, can you keep us in a fight? Like, can you keep us in games? Can you keep us as a playoff contender? And that's where I think there's probably 9 or 10 guys that do that in the NFL. Then, when our roster is as good as most, and our scheme and play, can we win a championship with you? And then I think that's, again, that same group. That's where Jalen is. But it's not like Jalen was the only guy that, like Patrick, when he won some of those Super Bowls, he's the only cat winning them. I truly believe that. I truly believe that.
This is where I think it's unfair for quarterbacks. And Rob, you've heard me say this before. It's kind of a double-edged sword. If you don't have enough weapons and you don't produce, they call you a bum. You then get enough weapons, you get a surplus of weapons, you play really well, and then they're telling you you're not good because you have a lot of good teammates. It's a very weird argument that we do with these guys. Now, there's no question. Jalen Hurts is in a great situation. Brock Purdy is in a great situation. But it feels to me with certain quarterbacks, we just find ways to kind of poke at their success. We do that same thing with Joe Burrow. Well, look at who you got. You got what are we doing here? Like, this Joe Montana had Jerry Rice. Like, Terry Bradshaw had Lynn Swann. And this is how it works. I think it's really unfair. Now, I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts is Joe Montana, but you get the point that I'm making. Troy Aikman had Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith. You play with good teammates. That's how you have success. That's how you build a great team. I hear football's the ultimate team game, and then we get mad that you play with the good team. It's very, very odd how we break down the quarterback position. You cannot justify putting Justin Herbert over Jalen Hurts to me. You can't justify it. I'm sorry. I don't care what the numbers. I don't care about any of that. I watch the games. I've seen Jalen Hurts against who we think is the best defensive coordinator in the NFL. I've seen twice him perform well in the Super Bowl, and one of those times they won. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it. One player has more Super Bowl wins than the other person has playoff wins. You can't make an argument to me that Justin Herbert's better than Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry. I know. Well, I know if they switch teams, well, I can't go off that. I can go off the information that we have in the games that I'm watching. And I'm sorry. I cannot do it. All right, Rob, why don't we do this? There are two local stories, two local things that I want to get to in the hits. Hit the button.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number one.
All right, hit number one, Rob, since we don't have Baker. What did you do to upset Baker University? They were a proud, long-standing sponsor of this show. Did you upset them? Because I didn't do anything.
I have no beef with any school that is represented by a Wildcat in the state of Kansas.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
That's a lie. We know that to be a fact. That's a lie.
All I'm saying is if you're a Wildcat in Kansas, I got no beef with you.
Do you think that any of the local schools like us, Missouri fans don't like me, Kansas fans don't like me? I'm also not very sure if I'm popular with K-State. Is there any local college fan base that's like, oh, we like him?
No. You know what's crazy?
They don't like you either. They don't like us.
You know what's crazy? I think Mizzou fans might dislike you the most, and you're the Mizzou guy.
No, for sure. No, that's true. Of all the schools, the Missouri fans might dislike me the most, which is very odd.
I don't think it's even really close.
This is the weird thing about fandom. They expect you to be a part of the same cult. And like, no, I don't want to be in your cult. I can't just cheer for the team. Like, I don't know. Fandom is weird. You got to like always agree. Like if you want to be a fan of a team and be accepted, you got to agree to be hypnotized. You can never push back on anything they do. They're the best. Like, I don't want to sign up for this. I didn't sign up to be part of your cult. That does not sound fun to me. I think that's why the Missouri fans dislike me.
Remember there's a big fight on the internet that you were on, Mizzou fans got mad at you because you were like, they weren't a game away from the playoff, and Mizzou fans were like, how
like
dare
twice a year.
you?
It happens like twice a year. Yeah, no. I just make the Missouri fans mad. People start like, well, I've never even seen your Twitter account before. You like created one to argue with me. This is weird. I don't know where you came from.
The only time K-State didn't like you is when you told Gene Taylor that his school isn't going to be good enough to be kept in a conference. They were pretty mad about that. Message boards were popping that day.
I did say that.
Hey, Gene, welcome to the show. Are you sad that your school is too small time to be in a conference?
I didn't phrase it like that, but the way you say it, that's crazy. Somebody said, C-Dot, you can come cheer for Mid-America Nazarene. Yeah, I got no issues with them. I'm shout out to them. What's their school mascot? What's Mid-America Nazarene? What are they? The Patriots or something?
I think Pioneers.
Yeah, what's a pioneer?
I don't know. Briscoe went there, I think. Briscoe will know.
Yeah, what's a pioneer in this context?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm just. What's their mascot? Petey?
I mean, it might be a person from the Old West, like a cowboy type looking person.
What do you think the mascot's name is? If they're the Pioneers, what do you think?
It's Petey
Bartholomew.
No, it's got to be alliteration. Peter.
Can we look it up? Can we look up what Mid-America Nazarene's mascot is? I would desperately like to know. I do actually want to talk about these two things. Number one, we are 22 hours away from finding out about Trey Smith. We're 22 hours away from figuring it out. It is kind of odd. There really hasn't been a whole lot of information. I don't know. There's not much coming out. Both sides are playing this very close to the vest. They still got time to figure it out. I'm not worried about it by any sense. It would greatly benefit both sides to reach a long-term extension. That's the best way to put it. It would be on both sides' best interest to reach a long-term deal. We had Joe Corey on the show last week, and he talked about how Trey Smith has the leverage in their negotiations.
But when you traded away your other guard and you stuck the franchise tag on him, you shifted that thing big time. He has all the leverage. He's sitting there going, well, he signed a tag pretty quickly, which was smart because it became fully guaranteed at that point. If you have an unsigned tender, it can be revoked. So that's now out of the equation. He's looking at it, and his people are looking at it, well, I can play for my 23-4, and then I'm going to be a free agent next year because he probably, based on history in terms of what happens when you have a Pro Bowl caliber offensive guard hit the open market, it's happened on maybe 5 occasions in the past decade, that got the market. So that's probably going to happen if you let him get out there. But it did surprise me between the tag and the trade. He's got the hammer, and if he's taking the approach, I'm leaving that to my agents, it's going to be used. They're not going to show a lot of mercy to the Chiefs unless he gave them specific marching orders that when we get to July 15, I'll take the best deal that's on the table. If he didn't, then Kansas City could have a problem. But you don't trade Tooney and stick the tag on him not to get a deal done.
That was Joel Corey. He joined us on the show last week. We'll certainly see what happens. Nate Taylor is scheduled to join us. He's actually going to join us from Bristol tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Tomorrow, whose day do we start with? There's somebody tomorrow. Whose day starts tomorrow?
The University of Kansas.
Tomorrow is Kansas Day on the show. We've actually done some of this. I've already talked to Travis Goff.
Your favorite AD in the city.
Yeah, I actually did. I'm going to tell you guys. I actually kind of like Travis Goff. I talked to him last week. He kind of had me ready to make a donation to the Williams Fund. I was like, man, you're kind of good at this. I see how you be hustling up this NIL money. Are we getting Lance Leipold tomorrow?
We are working on Lance Leipold as we speak.
That's a no. I know Rob speak. When he says we're working on it, we ain't getting him.
We are working on a player or two.
Oh, my goodness. We ain't getting nobody. We're going to get Ryan Robertson to call into the show for KU Day. That's who we got. We got Tyrell Reed coming.
It's a great day to have Jared Hass on the show.
That's what we're having. You want me to get Greg Gurley to call in? What's going on here? I can already tell what you're about to do. You're up to some nonsense. I knew it. I just have two Royals thoughts that I want to share with you guys. I went to the game on Saturday. I'll tell you a little bit more about that coming up in just a bit, what my Saturday looked like. But I had two observations as I was at the Royals game on Saturday. My first observation is Jack Caglione, he does hit into some spectacular outs, I will say. I mean, he's hitting 120s. I mean, I can only put so much qualifications on it. But when he hits into an out, it is a very entertaining out. I mean, he hit one ball hard into the hole at short. That was, or second, that was, all right, that was good. I was like, all right, you know what? That's tough luck. Then he had a very entertaining fly out. I mean, he's hitting into a lot of outs. Don't get me wrong. He don't walk. He hits into a lot of outs. But at least they're spectacular outs. They are fun. I'm still very intrigued by Jack Caglione. I know some people are not. I was on that Royals Facebook group. I don't know if they actually like me over there on their Facebook group because I posted on Twitter that I'm not very popular over there either. A lot of people over there are very mad at Jack Caglione. I'm not mad about him. And Bobby Witt, he does some amazing things. He made an incredible defensive play on Saturday. He made another incredible defensive play on Sunday. He stole a base on Saturday that would have put the Royals in a position to tie the game. They said he was out. I still don't think he was out. Bobby Witt Jr., he does some very, very amazing things on the baseball field. Coming up on the other side, I want to tell you guys about my Saturday in Kansas City. I think you'll enjoy it. Keep right here, so drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
For the first time in a long time, I'm willing to dream that this can be a special season for the Missouri Tigers.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health too with Nature Made probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, tools, home essentials, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through July 18th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Go Yard all baseball season long with Underdog's Champions Game. Join the millions who have already won billions making plays on Underdog and be next to join one of the leading places to make all your sports selections you can play in your state. To play, all you have to do is download the app. Choose whether you think a player will go higher or lower than their favorite stats, home runs, strikeouts, total bases, and so much more. Once your entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1. And if you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. That's right. If you bet $1, you could get up to 1,000 times your money. So you really could turn $1 into $1,000 with your baseball knowledge. Download the Underdog app. Sign up using that promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to unlock a special offer for up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See underdogfantasy.com/web/deposit-match-terms. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
You want to see the ring? Here, I have a picture. Wow, look at you. I know, right? Went to Hellsberg and customized the whole thing. Oh, yeah? Yeah, well, I showed them all her inspiration photos, picked the setting, the diamond. It's actually pretty fun. Now for the real hard part, asking her.
Well, congrats, buddy. The ring looks awesome.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because we know in making the most of your home, DIY doesn't just stand for do it yourself. It also means dream it yourself. And we're here to help protect the dreams you're building. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Here is your Game of the Week, presented by Hyundai. The baseball season is back underway after the midseason break. One matchup to look forward to is New York traveling to Atlanta for a huge series to start off the second half of the season. New York signed Atlanta's former ace in the offseason, and he will have a chance to get going against his former team. Will New York continue their dominance, or can Atlanta get off on the right foot? No one likes having to choose. That's why with America's best lineup of hybrids from Hyundai, you get the best of both worlds. Like the reliable and efficient Tucson Hybrid with America's best warranty, or the stylish yet capable Santa Fe Hybrid with the power to navigate the toughest terrain. It's like having your cake and eating it too, but you know, better. Hybrids from Hyundai. It's the best of both worlds. America's best warranty claim based on total package of warranty programs. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
Only $39 for an AC tune-up. Book now at themvpkc.com. MVP Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electric is your home's MVP this summer. Get a summer AC tune-up for just $39 and avoid costly repairs. Call today, 913-214-1212, or visit themvpkc.com. MVP, one call does it all.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The Grandview Triangle rush hour backup continues with moderate to significant delays. K10 I-435 congestion is building westbound near Lawrence. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Follow the station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
Rob, I found a new list for us to argue about. I was going to tell you guys the story. Honestly, I don't want to tell you the story anymore. Rob, I have not seen this list. I just pulled it up, and it actually goes from 25 to 1. So we're going to learn this in real time. Are you ready? The Athletic put out the top 25 college basketball players of the last 25 years. Are you ready to argue this?
I feel like I know who should be number one, but I'm excited to find out.
Let's do it. All I know is they got Jay Williams at 19.
Okay, so far, what? Oh, okay, all right.
There were 18 college basketball players better than Jay Williams? Okay, all right. That's okay. I'm interested.
We're about to have some nonsense here.
All right, where do you want to start? You want to start at 15?
Let's start at 15.
Okay, outside the top 15, Jimmer Fredette is 16.
Jimmer Fredette was ahead of Jay Williams?
Yeah, he was.
Let's just start at 15. I don't have time to argue about 22. It just
Jay Williams was a better college basketball player than Jimmer Fredette.
By a lot.
A great deal. All right, you ready? 15, Adam Morrison. 14, Shabazz Napier. 13, Frank Kaminsky. Number 12, Dwayne Wade. Number 11, Doug McDermott. So those are the players right outside the top 10. What do you make of that list? Doug McDermott, D. Wade, Frank Kaminsky, Shabazz Napier, and Adam Morrison. That's who they have is 11 through 15.
I don't think Shabazz Napier should be where he is.
Very high for Shabazz Napier.
Shabazz Napier was a good player. He had one really good tournament run.
100%.
The other guys...
You can't tell me Shabazz Napier is better than Jay Williams. You cannot argue that to me.
Dwayne Wade was awesome. Like, I have no problem with that. The other guys on that list, McDermott won Naismith Player of the Year. Kaminsky won Naismith Player of the Year. Like, those are guys who won Player of the Year. And also Shabazz Napier. Like, okay. Better than Jimmer, too. Okay, the top 10 is going to make me mad. Go ahead.
Okay, let's do this right now. Before we keep going, I don't know. I honest to God don't know who it is. Who do you think is number one? I think number one's Tyler Hansbrough.
I agree. Tyler Hansbrough, he has to be number one. I cannot imagine anyone else.
Okay, let's see.
Unless you have, maybe Joakim Noah, but that's the only other person I could think of.
Let's see. Number 10, Kevin Durant. Number 9, Zach Edey.
Okay. All right. What are we doing?
Number 8, Tyler Hansbrough.
Oh, my God.
They have number 8 for Tyler Hansbrough.
Barely above Zach Edey.
Hold on. In the history of the ACC, no player has scored more points than Tyler Hansbrough. So there's 7 better college players than Tyler Hansbrough? How are we so off on this?
It's about to be a bunch of guys who are good pros, and I'm going to be mad.
What is happening?
Shay's about to be like number 3, and I'm going to be angry. It's gonna just, I can see it coming from a mile away.
You know, I'm big on Wikipedia. What have you done? He won a national championship. He won National College Player of the Year. He was a consensus first-team All-American his last 3 years. He was second-team All-American as a freshman at North Carolina. He was first-team All-ACC all 4 years he was in school. What are we doing?
Didn't he go to 3 Final Fours? At least 2 Final Fours. Okay. All right. It's nuts.
Ready to keep going?
Yeah, yes.
Number 7, Shane Battier.
Now,
Shane Battier was really good.
Really good
Shane
career,
Battier was really good in college. He was really good.
I don't think he's better than Hansbrough, but he deserves the top 10.
Number 6, Jameer Nelson. I wouldn't put him ahead of Tyler.
I wouldn't put him in the top 10.
He was better than Jay Williams?
No. Good top 25, I have no problem with. JJ Redick now needs to be in the top 5, by the way.
He might be number 1 now.
That's the only other name.
He's probably 4. Number 5, Kemba Walker.
Okay, that's fair. That one's fair.
Number 4, Anthony Davis.
I don't see that as a top 5 college player, but that's an era one and done era. That's fine.
I think 3 is going to be Michael Beasley. I haven't seen it yet. I think 3 is going to be Beasley.
If Beasley's 3, that's fine. I think Durant had a better one and done than Anthony Davis did as far as like pure greatness.
They won a championship.
Yeah, that's true.
Best player on a championship team.
Championship team was also stacked with pros.
For sure.
Kevin Durant was just on a regular team.
Number 3, Steph Curry.
I guess.
Steph Curry was not a better college player than Jay Williams.
No.
Jay Williams is criminally underseeded now going through this exercise.
I think what we're learning is exactly what I said. Steph Curry had a great pro career. Like he had a good career at Davidson, don't get me wrong, but he was not better at Davidson than Jay Williams was at Duke. Just no.
Yeah, I agree.
Or Shane Battier was at Duke.
Number 2, Jalen Brunson. I'm actually not mad at Brunson being that high.
Brunson's I hated that team, but he was a really good college player.
Number 1, Carmelo Anthony.
What?
Number 1, Carmelo.
Where's JJ Redick?
JJ Redick's not in the top
15? He's not 16. He's not 18.
He wasn't one of the top 15 college basketball players of the last 25 years. Let me find where JJ Redick is. We couldn't have been more wrong about this list now in hindsight.
Also, Melo, really good college player. Don't get me wrong.
Hold on, let me get this right.
Not better than Kevin Durant.
They have Russ Smith. JJ has to. There's some reason why JJ Redick's not on here.
Did JJ go to school in 99? And it was like he started in 99. He's disqualified. That has to be it.
Emeka Okafor is 18. Jay Williams is 19. Joakim Noah, Blake Griffin. They have JJ Redick at 22.
That's
JJ Redick started college in 02.
That's nonsense. It's absolutely nonsense. It's fine if he's not 1. He's not 22.
I just want to know in what world are we arguing that Russ Smith was a better college basketball player than JJ Redick was? What's happening?
Now I just want to
might as well finish the list. Michael Beasley at 23. All right,
Stop
I don't
it.
want to see this anymore.
I'm
mad now.
Just stupid.
Beasley at 23? You're telling me there were 22 better players in college basketball the last 25 years than Michael Beasley was?
This is going to sound like
Look at this. Let me read this to you. Michael Beasley played 33 games at K-State. He averaged 26 points, 12 rebounds, and shot 54%. What are we doing? What are we doing?
There
was 23. Then you know what I'd much rather you do? I'd much rather you put the one and dones in a different category.
Correct. And even then, I know it's going to come off like hate because Syracuse beat Kansas and whatever. Carmelo Anthony was not the best one and done we've seen. He just wasn't. Kevin Durant was the best one and done we've seen. Kevin Durant.
I don't mind you putting Carmelo number one. I'm saying is ahead of those guys. We're saying just one and done.
If it's just one and dones, yeah. He's not the best college player we've seen, but I will at least have a conversation about best one and done.
JJ Redick at 22 is nuts to me. Legitimately nuts to me.
Michael Beasley at 23 might be stupider.
24, Nick Collison. I ain't mad at Nick Collison being on this list.
Nick Collison should be on the list.
I mean, I wish I could hate, but I can't hate on Nick Collison.
I mean, he should be ahead of Russ Smith, but that's not neither here
Number 5, they have Zion Williamson and Cooper Flagg. We're tied.
So never mind. We need to go break. I don't want to talk about this list anymore. So it just makes me mad.
Who are some of the honorable mentions? Now I'm trying to find the honorable mention guys. Oh, my goodness.
I mean,
JJ Redick not in the top 20? You ready for the honorable mention?
It's going to make me more mad, but yes, far away.
TJ Ford, Buddy Hield, Kevin Love, Chris Paul, Drew Timme. Drew Timme's a good one. Drew Timme that's a good answer. And John Wall. Those are the honorable mentions. So those would be 26 through 30.
I don't know on what earth, what planet, Russ Smith was a better college player than TJ Ford, but okay. All right.
Then John Wall.
Here
what are we doing here?
Here we sit.
Oh, you know who's not on here? Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose 1 year. What did Russ Smith do? Did we forget the Russ Smith era in Louisville?
He wasn't even. Was he on the team that won the title? I mean, he wasn't even the best player on that team. That was Peyton Siva.
What team he was on? Russ Smith was getting buckets like that at Louisville, and we just forgot.
When I think about Louisville guards, I think Peyton Siva and Donovan Mitchell. I do not think Russ Smith.
Russ Smith was
Luke
out there.
Hancock, I think about before Russ Smith.
Russ was out here hooping, bro.
Where's Trey Burke? I mean,
This is a fun list. I love art. I just like arguing.
I don't
about
like this list at all.
This list is infuriating. This list is bad. No, this was a bad.
Real bad.
This was a bad list. You guys, I swear to you, I did not see this before. Normally, I've seen it. I prepped. No, that was all in real time. That was our real reaction to this list. Goodness gracious, I can't believe where they put JJ Redick. I mean, Carmelo's one and done year. You kind of hating a little bit. Carmelo averaged 22 and 10.
Special.
Carmelo averaged 22 and 10 and shot 46% of the true freshmen, and he took them to the championship and they won. I'm with you. If you're talking like individual numbers, Kevin Durant's individual season, Beasley's individual season, it's hard to argue that there was a college basketball player who had a better year than Carmelo Anthony's 1 year at Syracuse. I understand why he's number one on this list. Tyler Hansborough's had the best career of any college basketball player the last 25 years. The fact that they found 7 ahead of him is wild. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, your home for the best food takes in KC.
Regular old American nachos. You know, I don't need jalapenos with mine, just chips, cheese.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Flooded bathroom? AC on the fritz? When things go wrong, you need reliable service fast. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter and take $50 off any HVAC, plumbing, or electrical repair over $200. The pros at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to fix the problem. Over 40 years experience, more than 8,000 five-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee means you can trust Hamilton to bring comfort and calm back to your home. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified pre-owned vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months, plus a $200 gas card with purchase. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Imagine buying your next car from one dealership.
With the support of many.
With everything you'll ever need.
When you buy from any of the Balderson Auto Group dealerships, you're getting the support from all of our dealerships.
Like our 100 service bays, collision, and detail centers.
And our free exclusive lifetime warranty. No other auto group gives you that.
From north, central, south, the Balderson Auto Group has you covered.
A family committed to
excellence, growth,
and harmony.
Go to bagkc.com.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, tools, home essentials, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through July 18th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
It's time to build that dream deck over at All Weather Decks. Schedule a free estimate today at 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net. All Weather Decks, the right deck at the right price.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Ready for a summer getaway? Start it off right with Park & Go, KC's premier airport parking destination. Open 24/7 with all covered spots to beat the summer heat. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Traffic is thinning out and speeding up through downtown KC. Still some rough spots along I-35 and I-70, but it is getting better. Northbound 435 is really slow from before Johnson Drive up to Call. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
So I was going to tell you guys this, and we were going to talk about this before we got distracted by that college basketball list. So my friend, we worked together at CBS Sports Radio. He had never been to Kansas City. He came into town. He tries to go see his Mets playing one visiting ballpark, and this year was Kansas City. So it was my first time meeting him. We've known each other for years, but, I live in Kansas City. He lives in New York. We just work remote. So he came to Kansas City. I'm like, hey, I'll show you around. I've lived here my whole life. I feel like I know what's going on in Kansas City. So we were just hanging out and going places, and it was very interesting to see Kansas City through the eyes of a tourist. Just thinking about it in a sense of, if I'm only in Kansas City for 24, 48 hours, what are the things that I need to see? What are the things that I need to do? So it was very interesting to see it through that lens. Now, I had a couple of observations, like things you just know, but when I'm looking at it through this lens, it was a very interesting exercise. Number one, that cheesy corn at Jack Stack is amazing. Like, I don't know what they're doing that nobody else is doing with the cheesy corn, but I'm here telling you, it is incredible. Really, really good. Rob, it was also really interesting I ate barbecue, like 4 of the last 6 days I've had barbecue. Like, I judged this rib contest yesterday out of Hollywood. I had barbecue with him for back-to-back days. I did something else and I had barbecue. It really stood out to me how different every place in Kansas City is. So, for example, I got ribs on Friday night at Jack Stack, and then Saturday we went to Gates. 2 very different places. And just like eating the ribs, and I'm like, they taste drastic. Like, I knew this, but just having them so close to each other just like really, really made this obvious. And then to hear someone's opinion who had never had Gates sauce before, like, I wish I could go back in time and eat Gates sauce for the first time. He's like, what is that? I'm like, some of the best barbecue sauce in the world. It's amazing. So to see it through the eyes of someone that's not from here, and then just trying to think of things like, oh, what are things you need to see in a very short period of time? So we went to Union Station. He's kind of looking around, and, oh, this is kind of cool. Yeah, hey, this is where the draft was, and this is where this thing was, and you probably seen this on television. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I've seen this place before. Then we go up to the Liberty Memorial. You get that great view that, like, overlooks the scenes. Like, oh, it's cool. I'm like, yeah, no, this is Kansas City. So we did that. We went to the Scout. We went to the statue. I'm like, you've seen this on Sunday Night Football. You've seen this view of the city a million times. Like, oh, yeah, I remember this. And we also went to the Boulevard Beer Hall. And I told him, you got to get this flight. So I got him a flight it was Boulevard Wheat, Space Camper, their Pale Ale, and Tank 7. Now, maybe that wasn't the right 4 beers to get. You guys can tell me if that's the case. But it felt like if you've never had Boulevard before, that's the 4 that you at least need to try. Now, everyone has their favorite off of those. And, you got to be here for the holiday season and get the Nutcracker. And I like the Quirk, and maybe you like these other beers. But just a standard, if you want the Welcome to Kansas City beer pack, I feel like those are the 4 to try out. It was a very fun weekend, and I felt like a tourist, like walking around the plaza, and I'm like, oh, this person is experiencing all of these things for their very first time. Someone said, please say you went to Gates. No, I did go to Gates. We did go to Gates. We went to Jack Stack on Friday and went to Gates on Saturday. We were going to go to Joe's one of the days, and that line was crazy.
And it's probably hot outside, makes it worse.
Yeah. And I told him, because he was like, no, I'm not going to come back and go to a Chiefs game. I'm like, yeah, whenever you want to go to the Chiefs game, we can go. And I was like, we'll go to Gates, or we'll go to Joe's then. I had a lot of fun today. I really had a lot of fun today with today's show. Special thanks to everybody who joined us today. Tomorrow is KU Day. It is also going to be Trey Smith Day. We got a very busy week, even though there's no games this week. We appreciate you guys listening. Have a fantastic Monday. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
Hi, I'm Dustin. your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're shopping for an engagement ring, we want you to feel like a kid in a candy store. All of our diamonds are in stock, in-store and online, so you get to use your eyes, not your imagination. Come in and